All right, good evening, baseball fans. Let's get down to it. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull off a triple header, but we're gonna give it a go here. So it's been a while since I've done anything in the Howie Shanks League, so just gonna put a little thing in Discord here while we're talking. Hope everybody is doing well, and some baseball, some baseball, some baseball, some baseball. It'll be a lot of fun. Mostly chat, but a lot of baseball too, I hope, right? All right, let's look at the standings here. We've had some changes as we now begin the month of August in the Howie Shanks League. So the Jersey Blue Crabs and the Detroit Coyotes, so that's Big Clue and Steve Tate's teams, they are in a tie for first place at 65 and 41. Manchester 3 games back. Hawaii 8 games back. My team Mudville 8.5 back, and really came on strong apparently in July. They are now 56 and 49. So go Mudville. Cleveland 10.5 out of first. Des Moines 13 back. North Sound 16 back. That's D. Scott Howard's team. Arlington, Robbie's team, is at least not in last place. 27.5 out. And then PQ's Badlands team, the Sentimentals, 33.5 games out. So the race pretty tight right now. I would say maybe the bottom 2 teams are out of it. Des Moines, North Sound, and Cleveland are on the edge. Mudville, Hawaii, and Manchester battling for a spot. Hey, MV, be really nice if we did sort of a mini World Series at the end of this, just like we did in the McGreevy League. But we will see what happens. So that's what's been going on here. So tonight we have some decent matchups here. I would say not anything that's going to set the world on fire, certainly. It looks like my Mudville 9 will be playing Hawaii, which means that game will be actually auto-played. So that's going to be Mike Cuellar versus Tim Lincecum. We have Badlands versus Jersey. So Badlands could have a chance to play a little bit of spoiler baseball. So we'll probably, that's the game. We're either going to do that or Manchester and Arlington. I'm not sure. Detroit, North Sound, Des Moines, Cleveland. So really, unfortunately, the game that we could do, Mudville and Hawaii, which would be 2 stronger teams, is the one we're not going to play live. So, yeah, Mudville climbing, Babe Ruth getting hot. It is about time. So, MV, I just want to say you've been doing an absolute amazing spiffo fab gear. You know, you have been. Fancy yourself a gem, buddy. A great job, an absolutely great job keeping the league moving along with, just with, I know, with me and real life issues and all that. So, let's do this, and I think since we do have MV here, we're going to go ahead and have Manchester and Arlington. I'll set Manchester to Human, and certainly MV, if it's too late for you and you don't feel like managing or whatever, that's fine. But the first manager gets here, gets home team rights. All right. Cheers, he says. Well, cheers. Well, lad, we might be the next Beatles. All right, so let's get to the ballpark, and then we will auto-play the other ones. Then after this will be the KCCL continuation of the Dead Ball Tournament, Dead Ball 19th Century Tournament. And then after that, one of my new long-term projects, the Decade Greats. And that's the one where I kind of gave a little sneak peek last night with the logos that I did and naming up the teams, and actually going to play that as a season. And so Steve Tate is on now. Saying hi to everybody. So, Steve, your basketball stream that you did earlier, yeah, lost your internet. I'm like, I thought it was me, and I kept reloading the page, and it was like, oh, well, because you came on, and the one thing, you mentioned something that Action PC Basketball has a full-on spectator mode. I wish Dave would implement that in Action PC Baseball. The reasoning is because for leagues like this, it would be super easy, right? Because you can already do that now with the park baseball, where you don't have to make that agonizing decision. Should I pull this pitcher, or should I pinch hit in this situation for this manager that's not here? And I don't know why they don't they don't have that. MV, I never ever when I'm broadcasting, I don't do my team. I don't. So no Mudville, Hawaii is going to autoplay. But I really wish, and Steve, you have the ear of the master, His Holiness, there, Dave Cook. Maybe you could ask him what would the chances be of having a full-on spectator mode. The other thing I want to mention quickly before we jump into the game is I'd mentioned that I wanted to move the Shanks League into out-of-the-park baseball, but we're getting down near to the end of it. I'm not going to be managing a team in the next one. I'd like to really just concentrate on broadcasting. So I may do it for the next iteration since we're doing years and teams, but I think it's doing fine in Action PC, and I just couldn't see the wisdom at this point. Even though Todd B wanted it in Out of the Park 24, I couldn't see the wisdom and kind of just redoubling efforts or treading ground already trodden that was trodden well. So there we go. Every time you're watching BritBox, you think of MV. Well done. Well done, yeah. Well, he's a bit gay. He's a bit fab, isn't he, our MV? We love him so much. So yeah. No, right now, BritBox, I'm watching a brilliant World War One series, MV. It's called Passing Bells, and it's amazing. So I do watch some comedies on BritBox. I mean, I'm Irish after all. So, but again, that's why even when I talk to you guys, like one-on-one, I still keep this. But you'd be surprised. Someday I'll give you a big surprise. Your greatest comedy is Faulty Towers. So have to disagree with you on there, MV. Faulty Towers is Vicar of Dibley, great stuff. But yeah, you guys, I'll check out Only Fools and Horses. Definitely will. But Faulty Towers is coming back. Actually, John Cleese just made that announcement, so that should be cool. And other non-baseball related news. Kurt Sutter is considering another Sons of Anarchy series that was going to focus on Jack Teller's sons, but he wants to bring back Charlie Hunnam's sort of flashbacks, things like that, and whatever. And since Sons of Anarchy is really kind of a modern retelling of Hamlet, the whole ghost theme will work really neat. So looking forward to that. I don't know if there's any Sons of Anarchy fans here. I love it. I think it's one of the most brilliant television series this side or the other side of the pond ever created. So there we go. All right, Manchester, Arlington. Let's go to work. So this is going to be Hecker versus Law. And of course, we're in Robbie's ballpark here. Hecker versus Law. All right, so Law's a righty, so let's load a right-handed lineup, which is incomplete. Why is it incomplete? You need a right fielder here, MV. I'm glad you're here. Where's your right? Who do you have in right field, man? Do you have somebody that's hurt? Do you have somebody that's out? Okay. So you have a choice here. Do you want Chicky? You want Chicky Stahl? Des Moines is in the house. So MV, what are we doing here? Because you don't have a right fielder. Showing that Fred Singleton, I guess, who only had... So you have Donaldson or Stahl. I'm assuming you want Hazel? You don't want Chicky Stahl. No, you can't have Hazel. I just downloaded this file. Hazel's injured. Did you not see your own file? He's injured. And, yeah, just downloaded it and everything. Hazel is out until 28 September. Alright, Chicky Stahl it is. Next question is, where do you want the erstwhile Mr. Stahl to be batting? While I put Guy Hecker in here to pitch. So Guy Hecker won't be able to throw many pitches. So you have a couple issues here. So Guy Hecker doesn't have a high enough pitch count, but I guess he's in your So let's fix this. Yep, he did. So you want Stahl batting second. He's there, but you need a pitcher. And I don't know why it wants to start Hecker. So according to this, John Hiller? No. Where's Zach Greinke? So Greinke should be your starter for tonight. Hecker, problem with Hecker, he's not going to throw that many pitches. He only has an expected pitch count of 60. Okay. Hecker is okay. You got it. I will put him in there because it does look like the Greinke is your next is the next starter in your rotation. But you got it. All right, let's get to the ballpark. Yeah, definitely. All right, welcome to Rangers Ballpark for tonight's game between Manchester Red Bulls and the Arlington Sharks. Manchester is on a tear, has won 8 of its last 10. Arlington, just 2 of its last 10. Guy Hecker will climb the mound for the Red Bulls, and he's made 12 starts in the year, and he is 7-5 with an earned run average of 3.55. This will be his second start against Arlington, and he's 1-1 against them with a 3.3 or 3.86 earned run average. Opposing him will be Vern Law, acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates for the Arlington Sharks. Law, 2 starts in the year, and he is 0-2 with an ERA of 11.77. This will be his first start against the Manchester Red Bulls. At game time here in Texas, it is a scorching 92 degrees. The wind speed, though, may help mitigate that a little bit for the fans here today, and how it will help the hitters or not, we don't know, as it's a crosswind, 13 miles per hour left to right. So grab a cold beverage there, you Texans, and let's... All right, let's look at the starting defense first for the Arlington Sharks. The Sharks coming into tonight's game, 36 wins, 67 losses. The Red Bolts at 62 wins, 44 losses. So the Red Bolts have been coming on strong. They've remained in the thick of the race, but really it's Detroit, actually, surprisingly, in a bit of a skid, now in a tie for first. Detroit had remained in first place for quite a long time, but we'll talk about standings at the end of this particular ball game. In left field for the Arlington Sharks, Rafael Palmeiro. In center, Benny Koff. In right field, Jake Dunn. Around the horn from first to third, Dave Orr at first base. The Raja, Rogers Hornsby at second. At short, the Flying Dutchman, Hannes Wagner at third base. Jimmy Williams. Catching for the Sharks tonight will be Salvador Perez. And taking the mound, as we talked about, Vern Law. So Vern Law really not having a good season at all. He's walked 5 and struck out 5, and 0-2. So not sure what's going on with Vern. But last season, Vern Law with a 2.15 earned run average, 17 wins, 9 losses, 217 and 1/3 innings pitched, 35 walks, and 101 strikeouts. A whip, 9.98, and the National League hit only 237 last year against Vern Law, hitting 362 this year. So Steve said he's going to hang around till he goes off to dinner. So let's get this game underway. Leading off for the Manchester Red Bulls, one of the best modern leadoff men you can imagine, Kenny Lofton. He's acquired from the Cleveland Indians. Lofton hitting .286 on the season, 11 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Kenny has also swiped 43 bases. Last year he stole 60. So Lofton a little bit under par, what you'd expect for batting average, but everything else matching up pretty well. Lofton digs in now on the left-hand side. Vern Law, ready to deal, has the sign from Salvador Perez, and we're underway here at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. Here is the wind and the 0-1 delivery. Fastball to Lofton. This one chopped foul in front of the plate on the third base side. So Lofton back in the box now, and the count 0-2 on him as Vern Law wheels and deals the fastball to Lofton. Long fly ball to left. This one back. A liner that is gone. So Kenny Lofton leads it off here for Manchester in the top of the first inning with a 336-foot tater out to left field. All right, batting second and a favorite of the Manchester manager MV, One Chick Stahl, who is now goes by the appellation of Chicky. So Stahl hitting .299. He's 9 runs batted in. Stahl, a good season last year. Stahl, a .351 hitter, 52 runs batted in, 7 home runs for Stahl. Good speed, good mix of speed and power, as you will see in this excellent Manchester lineup. All right, Vern Law touched up there for the dinger. 3 pitches into the ball game. Vern Law lets it go. The 1-0 curve. Stahl sends this one to right field, and this one back, and this one is gone. Back-to-back shots for the Manchester Red Bolts. Is all Adam Dunn or Jake Dunn could do was just look up and watch it go. This one 335 feet. It is a veritable launching pad here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. And the Red Bolts tallying 2 here in the top of the first, courtesy of 2 home runs. All right, so Lofton and Stahl went deep, and now we get to the real dangerous hitters. So Josh Gibson steps in. The fearsome Gibson hitting .320 with 18 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Just give me 1 second here, guys. Get my seeing a little better here. Something in the right eye. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So Gibson last year hit .365, 49 home runs, 175 runs batted in. Just one of the most fearsome power hitters in all of baseball. Vern Law, it looks like Salvador Perez is going out to the mound to have just a little word with Vern Law, kind of calm him down a little bit. He's back now into the crouch, sets the target for Vern Law. Here is the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, and Gibson sends this to left field. This one high, this one deep. Oh my God! Back to back to back home runs by the Manchester Red Bolts. And Josh Gibson getting his money worth on that shot. 359 feet to left. This is crazy. So 3 runs on 3 hits, all home runs, nobody out. And here comes the cleanup hitter for the Manchester Red Bolts. Alex Rodriguez hitting .294 in the season, 19 home runs, 87 runs batted in. Yeah, exactly, right? As Tim coming in and channeling a little bit of his Swede there, what have you, Vert. So yeah, back to back to back. And here's A-Rod. And you can see A-Rod's got a gleam in his eye. He wouldn't mind getting on the tater train here. Vern Law winds and fires. 0-2 fastball. This one, base hit, left field. And Vern Law in some serious trouble here. And this is why I wish Action PC had a full-on spectator mode like Action PC Basketball does, because I may have to make an executive decision, although I think we have a 5-run rule. So Vern Law may get the early hook. I'm not sure. It does not get any easier. Designated hitter and number 5 batter in the lineup tonight. The great Mickey Mantle steps in. Now Mantle, much like Babe Ruth, not hitting for a lot of average. He's hitting him out of the park, but Mantle performing a little bit below what's advertised in the 10. Mantle hitting .267, 14 home runs. He does have 67 runs batted in the season, but last year the Mick hit .306 with 37 homers. So Mantle a little off the pace. Batting left against the righty Vern Law. Alex Rodriguez at first. does have some speed. Perez behind the arm, or behind the dish, a decent arm. So we'll see how that affects the Manchester running game. Vern Law sets and fires now. The 1-2 fastball, and this one big swing and a miss, and that was a bad pitch actually out of the strike zone. Mantle chasing, wanting to be home run number 4, but instead 1 out in the first strikeout for Vern Law. And here's Mike Schmidt now. Schmidt hitting .296 with 18 dingers, and he's batted in 68. So A-Rod aboard at first, 1 down, 3-0 in favor of the Manchester Red Bulls as Vern Law deals. Schmidt swinging on the first pitch, fastball grounded to Williams. Williams is going to go to Hornsby, who will go on to Orr to complete the 5-4-3 double play. However, 3 runs, 4 hits, and the 3 of those runs were back-to-back-to-back home runs. No errors. We've played a half inning here at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. It's the Manchester Red Bulls 3 and the Arlington Sharks coming to bat. So the Sharks have their work cut out for them, to say the least. Let's look at the starting defense now for the Manchester Red Bulls. In left field, the splendid splinter Teddy Ballgame, Ted Williams. In center field, Kenny Lofton. And right field, Chick Stahl. From first to third around the horn. At first base, Ripper Collins. At second, Martin Diego. At short, Alex Rodriguez. And at the hot corner, Mike Schmidt. Catching for the Red Bulls, of course, Josh Gibson. And Guy Hecker, formerly of the Louisville Colonels, and the Louisville Colonels were actually owned by Barney Dreyfuss, so Hecker would actually see time with some Pittsburgh Pirates. So a 19th century twirler on the mound. Manchester will need to keep a close eye on Hecker with a lower pitch count. He's finishing his warm-up tosses, and we're about ready to go. So Hecker, as we said, 7 of 5 in the season with 2 saves. But last season, a wonderful 1.30 under an average. He went 6 and 6 with 5 walks and 33 strikeouts. Benny Koff to lead it off here for the Arlington Sharks. Koff hitting .276. He has 8 home runs and 39 runs batted in. So Koff, the lefty, steps in. Great star in the dead ball era, especially in the dead ball era. And by the way, I'm reading another great book right now, along with Baseball in the Garden of Eden, and I really, really, really strongly suggest this. Is called Tales from the Dead Ball Era, and I think it will get you a great appreciation for that amazing, rowdy, violent, wonderful, everything time in the national pastime. All right. Hecker ready to deal. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Benny Koff. Fastball. This one chopped to short. A-Rod with a nice easy bounce and the easy throw to Ripper Collins for the 6-3 putout of Benny Koff. So 1 away for Hannes Wagner. Wagner is underperforming. In fact, he's overperforming in home runs, but as far as batting average, hitting just .282. Wagner with 10 home runs, 57 runs batted in. Last season, however, Wagner, batting champ, hit .349, so with only 4 home runs. So Wagner's got a little bit reversed here. Hecker wheels and deals the 2-0 fastball. The Dutchman swings on this. This one, routine grounder to third. Mike Schmidt with the pick and the throw, and that retires Wagner. So 2 up, 2 down here for Arlington in the bottom of the first, and it brings up the great Rogers Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby hitting .302, which you're going to take. 21 home runs, 64 runs batted in. But Hornsby last season hit a lofty .403 with 39 home runs. Probably one of the greatest seasons that any baseball player has ever had. So Hornsby in the box, always dangerous. And waiting on deck is Dave Orr. Guy Hecker winds and fires. The 1-1 And Hornsby, comebacker to the mound on his curveball. Hecker fires over to Ripper Collins. And Manchester face the minimum. We go to the top of the second. It's Manchester 3 and the Sharks nothing. Christopher Slovic is in here tonight along with Ken Castro. Ken hang around. Game number 2 is going to be the KCCL. And then, if I can pull off the third game, it's going to be the 1800s, your King Kellys, versus the Hannes Wagners, the 1900s. So, more emphasis tonight on dead ball and 19th century after this game. So, Christopher Slovic joining us here at the ballpark, Clee Baseball Fan 879. Please subscribe to that channel, to the MV channel, to the Steve Tate channel, and to the Chris Slovic channel. All excellent. So I'll be messaging you, Christopher, about the 14th. Everything's kind of up the air. I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. I think it'll be a blast. So, in the meantime, it's good to have you home with us here in America. All right, leading off here, Ripper Collins. Ripper Collins, the 1934 home run champion, acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals by the Red Bulls. Collins riding a 7-game hitting streak. Ripper hitting .280 with 19 home runs, 64 runs batted in. Ripper Collins hails from Western Pennsylvania. Vern Law, 0-2 delivery now to Ripper. Fastball and strike 3 called. So, could Vern Law be settling down? We shall see as he has to face Teddy Ballgame. Williams, rather surprising, underperforming. .267, 18 home runs, 73 ribbies. Last year, Williams hit .343 with 32 home runs and 114 runs batted in. So, good RBI count for Williams as we start August. But the batting average for Ted Williams, this is kind of ridiculously low. Vern Law kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. Fastball to Teddy Ballgame. And a swing and a miss. And all of a sudden, now Vern Law has fan 3. So he fed Mantle in the first. Now he takes care of 2 hitters here. And here's Martin Dihigo. Dihigo hitting .247 in the season. 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Dihigo can play everywhere, be a concessionaire, and probably the commissioner of the league had he chosen to be. Vern Law from the set, and the 2-1. Fastball by Dihigo, chopper back to the mound. Vern Law comes off the hill, fires onto Dave Orr. And the Red Bolts go quietly. We go to the bottom of the second. The score remains Manchester 3 and Arlington nothing. And Arlington will send up the number 4, 5, 6 hitters. So Dave Orr to lead it off here, followed by Jimmy Williams. Dave Orr in the season hitting .303, 6 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Setting the target, Josh Gibson. Here's the wind and the delivery. The 2-2 from Hecker. Fastball. Chopper to second. Dihigo, quick throw. And this one in the dirt, but Ripper Collins keeps it in front of him to keep Dave Orr at first. So that's going to be the 18th error for Martin Dihigo at second. So scored E4 at home. And that is the first base runner for Arlington in this game. Now here's hot corner man Jimmy Williams hitting .289. He has 4 dingers, 39 runs batted in. Dave Orr at first, 10 steals in the season thus far. Last year stole a total of 16, so Dave Orr ahead of his pace right now. Hecker checks the runner. Orr at first has the sign from Josh Gibson. Throws over. Orr dives back, and close call there at first. Ripper Collins with a good tag, but Orr able to get the hand in. Hecker has the sign now from Josh Gibson. Here's the wind and the 0-1 fastball, and this one scorched to right. Base hit, extra bases. Jimmy Williams will pull into second with a double. No, Jimmy Williams is going to go for 3, so the throw hits the cutoff man Dihigo. Dihigo's throw to third, the tag by Schmidt, and Jimmy Williams is in there. Credit to him with an RBI triple, and the Arlington Sharks get on the board now. It's 3-1. So, a run on a hit. It's the way you like to do it. Here's Salvador Perez, the catcher, hitting just .220. But he does have 24 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Yeah, jet lag. I understand it all too well. Coming back and forth from Ireland and Holland to America and back, and back over. I get it. I completely get it. All right, Hecker working from the stretch now. Jimmy Williams at third. Here's the delivery to Perez, the 0-1. Fastball cut on, fly ball, center field, going back on it. Kenny Lofton makes the catch, tagging at third, and trotting home to score is Jimmy Williams. And that's the second run for Arlington. So Arlington looking to make it a game here. It is now 3-2 and just one out. Rafael Palmeiro bats with the bases empty. The left fielder for Arlington hitting a lofty 429 he hasn't batted in anybody, so let's not get too excited about the 429, as that's a 3 for 7 429. So Palmeiro, curiously, not getting a lot of playing time for Arlington. And here's the delivery from Hecker, the 1-0. Routine ground ball to second. Diego has it, makes the short throw, this time to Ripper Collins for out number 2. Jake Dunn now strides to the plate after grabbing a stick from the barrel. Jake Dunn hitting just 163 as a home run, 2 runs batted in. So again, Jake Dunn not seeing a lot of playing time. Guy Hecker deals the 1-0. Spitball, and Jake Dunn, a little four-hopper to third. Should be no trouble for Mike Schmidt. Fires on to Ripper Collins, and that's the inning. However, 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and we've played 2 here at Globe Life, and it's Manchester 3, Arlington 2. And let's get to it now, to the top of the third. Leadoff man, Kenny Lofton. So we've gone through the Manchester order once. Kenny Lofton, this will be very easy. So Kenny Lofton, a solo shot. And then, of course, Jake Stahl, a solo shot. And Josh Gibson, a solo shot. So now you know what the first 3 hitters did back in the first inning. Back-to-back home runs. And there's World's Worst Gamer. He says, good evening, people. And wishing MV good luck in this one. Vern Law, after in the first inning giving up 3 home runs, struck out Mickey Mantle in the first and then struck out 2 batters in the second. So 3 Ks to his tally, no walks. Vern Law deals. Lofton swings in his fastball, little chopper to first, or has it, throws to Vern Law, covering to retire the speedy Kenny Lofton. And it was important for Orr to keep his head about him, as Kenny Lofton has serious speed going down the base paths. All right, here's Check Stahl. Vern Law fires it in, the 0-1. This curveball, comebacker to Vern Law, who fires it on to Dave Orr for out number 2, the 1-3. So here you go. Vern Law seems to be settling down now after an absolutely borderline nightmarish first inning. And here's Josh. Josh, part of that trinity of homers in the first. Vern Law kicks and fires. Here's the 1-2 fastball. Gibson takes this grounder into left field for a base hit. Rafael Palmeiro makes the scoop and the throw. So Josh aboard. Josh with 5 stolen bases this year. A-Rod now singled back in the first. Mickey Mantle waits on deck. Vern Law into his motion and the 0-1 curveball. And A-Rod sends us to third. Williams up with it. He'll go to Hornsby to get Gibson. And that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And we go to the bottom of the third. It's 3-2. Good to see that Robbie activated. Actually, I remember doing that for him. But it's a good thing that see Don Baylor into the game. Don Baylor was actually inactive for a large part of the season for the Arlington Sharks. But Baylor is riding an 8-game hitting streak right now. So hitting .251, 13 home runs since he's been activated, 37 runs batted in. Again, Guy Hecker, Manchester wanting to keep a close eye on him, as he'll be reaching his fatigue level probably in about an inning or 2. So Don Baylor in the box now. And here is the wind and the pitch from Guy Hecker. 0-2 fastball. And this one, a late called third strike. And Baylor is not happy about that. Stomps off to the dugout, turns around, has a few choice words with the umpire. And today we have one of the great legends of the game, Bill Clem, umpiring at home today. And the magisterial Mr. Clem will not hear of it. And the players know Bill Clem's reputation, and they're not going to argue with him. All right, so A-Rod sits down Benny Koff will come to the plate here, so don't know what I was thinking of here. This thing just went not so on me, but there we go. Hey, there's Big Clue. Been a while since we've seen the Clue who is large of size. It's good to see you, bud. Large of size because he's Big Clue. I actually don't know what he looks like. All right, Benny Koff. Here's the delivery from Hacker. Koff swings, chopper to second, and Martin Dihigo error prone. That is the second error for the Manchester Red Bulls, and both committed by Martin. That's his 19th error of the season. So Benny Koff aboard, and Benny Koff, serious wheels, 38 stolen bases on the season. Stepping in now, Hannes Wagner. So Wagner, his last time up, grounded to third. Koff an aggressive lead at first. Hecker with a check of the runner. And he comes home with it, the 0-1. Koff was on the move, the hit and run. Wagner, base hit, and to left field, Ted Williams juggling the ball out there. Wagner's going to make it to second. So it's single and E7 and 2 in scoring position now. And that's error number 3 for Manchester. So Benny Koff at third, Hannes Wagner at second, and Rogers Hornsby at the plate. This could be a recipe for disaster for the Manchester Red Bulls. Hornsby, his last time up, grounded back to Guy Hecker. Hecker working from the stretch now with the 1-0 delivery. And they're going to intentionally walk Rogers Hornsby. Probably a good idea to get to Dave Orr. Much less of a threat, certainly. Hecker looking double play ball here to get out of this jam. Hecker deals the 1-1. Dave Orr swings on this fly ball to right field. Chickstall coming in, makes the catch. Tagging at third is Benny Koff, and he will come in to score the tying run for the Arlington Sharks. So 2 away, and we are knotted at 3 here in the bottom of the third. For Jimmy Williams, Hannes Wagner at second, Rogers Hornsby at first. Third baseman Jimmy Williams, RBI triple back in the second, scoring Dave Orr. Guy Hecker into his motion and the 1-1. Spitball, this one chopped to second. Dihigo has it, goes to A-Rod for the final out of the inning. So 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, and we have played 3 complete here at Globe Life Park, and we are knotted at 3. Leading off here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Manchester Red Bulls will be Mickey Mantle, will be followed by Mike Schmidt and Ripper Collins. So very, very interesting lineup here for MV. A lot of power up and down the line, but going against kind of some conventional baseball wisdom. Putting A-Rod in cleanup and having power like Mantle and Schmidt, but you got Ripper Collins, you got Ted Williams batting 7th. So there's these little sort of triads that manager MV has done. So interesting stuff. Christopher Slovak says, I don't know why, but a big first inning a lot of times is a death sentence. How about it? I think it shakes up a pitcher, Chris. I think you have a great point there, and I think even though, it seems like Vern Law is settling down, I think you're remembering, that big inning, and that the first 3 hitters you faced, you gave up. They went yard on you, each one. So we shall see as it goes on. All right, the Mick is 0 for 1, struck out back in the first. Vern Law, the leg kick and the 3-1 curveball. This one missing a little bit outside, and Mickey Mantle aboard with the walk. So let's see, Mantle, what has he done in terms of stolen bases? So last season he stole 8. And thus far, he has stolen 6 this year. So don't discount the Commerce Comet to try to pull for a base. But once again, as we said, Salvador Perez with a very, very strong arm behind the plate. All right, here is Mike Schmidt. He grounded to third into a double play that would begin a double play. The 1-0 to Schmidt. Fastball. Schmidt turns on this one, but just grounds it to Jimmy Williams. Williams to Hornsby. Hornsby to Orr on the pivot for the 5-4-3 double play. So quickly here, 2 outs, and Ripper Collins looking to extend this 7-game hitting streak. The Ripper struck out back in the second. Law brings it now. The 1-1. Collins turns on this one. Fly ball to right, but the Park's going to hold this near the track for the 3rd out. So no runs, hits, nor errors. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We're knotted at 3. World's Worst Gamer says Vern Law has given up 13 home runs in 16 innings this season. He says, wow, absolutely. Big Clue says, who would have guessed that Vern Law, of all people, wouldn't be dominating hitters in an all-time league? LOL. Interesting, though, that there isn't that sense of dominance, of pitcher dominance in the Shanks League, which I think also makes it fun. And let you guys know, I don't know what the powers that be here want to do, but since both I think Steve might have left already for dinner, but I proposed to the other 2 commissioners in this league that we do like we did with the Ned McGreevy League. Let's have a little World Series between the first and second, just a little 3-game at the end, rather than just ending the season. Pardon me, I think it'd be a lot of fun. Give it some consideration. Set up a 3-game World Series. It worked really well in the Ned McGreevy League, so. And good news to Ken Castro, if you're in here. Next week, I'm going to start setting the groundwork for McGreevy 2.0. So, looking forward to your advice on that as we reboot Ned McGreevy. And Howie Shanks, I guess, will be 3.0. We'll be starting pretty soon, probably about a month or so, I guess. All right, Guy Hecker getting up there a little bit now, as he deals to Salvador Perez. Perez swings, and this one scorched to left. This one off the wall in the corner, extra bases. Ted Williams has it and just tosses it into A-Rod to prevent Perez from moving to third. So leadoff double here for Arlington in the bottom of the 4th inning as Rafael Palmeiro steps in. Palmeiro grounded to second, back in the second. Runner in scoring position, the go-ahead run for Arlington. And speaking of Arlington, I'm going to check 2 things. First, my Pirates were beaten up on the Mets when last I checked, and still are. Top of the 9th, Pittsburgh Pirates 14, the Mets 6. But I want to see where Robbie Wartburg is tonight. We can always track him by the Major League schedule. Is Robbie working tonight, or is he just hiding away? Let's see. No, Robbie's just not here. So Texas is actually playing in Florida, so we don't have our dear Robbie Wartburg tonight. All right. So here is the wind in the delivery from Guy Hecker. The 0-2. Palmeiro takes this curveball. Bouncer to short. Rodriguez over to Collins in the 6-3. Moving to third on the play, Salvador Perez. So 1 out. Golden opportunity here for the Arlington Sharks to jump into the lead. Jake Dunn in the box now. Salvador Perez just 90 feet away at third. Jake Dunn grounded to third back in the second. And Clinton Parks in here. He says, evening from the Sickies. Clinton dealing with possibly some strep throat, so take care of yourself, Clinton. All right. Jake Dunn in the box. Guy Hecker from the stretch. And the pitch. Jake Dunn swings in this fastball. And this one lined into center field. Base hit. Lofton getting the ball in to Rodriguez quickly. And the Arlington Sharks now lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th as Don Baylor steps in. Baylor wearing the DH mantle tonight for these Arlington Sharks. Baylor, in an 8-game hitting streak, struck out back in the third. Jake Dunn at first. 11 steals last season. He has yet to steal a base now. Decent arm with Josh Gibson behind the plate there. Salvador Perez rated a little bit higher for arm, but running game could be shut down for both teams here. Hecker checks Dunn at first. Here's the Gibson out to have a quick word with Hecker. Now, here's the pitch to Don Baylor. Baylor swings, and this one, what a play by A-Rod. Full extension, and then the underhand toss to the knees, and then on to first for the inning-ending double play. However, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and Arlington jumps in the lead as we go to the visitors' half of the 5th inning. It's the Sharks 4 and the Red Bolts 3. We have us a good baseball game going on here, and let's just keep it rolling. All right, Ted Williams leads it off here. Teddy Ballgame is nothing for 1. Struck out back in the second. Again, Williams, low average, 266 for Williams. That's low. Certainly, you take a player on a modern-day roster with 286 average, or I'm sorry, a 266 average, with 18 home runs and 73 ribbies. But expect a little more out of Teddy Ballgame here. Vern Law deals. Count even on Williams. The 2-2 curveball, fly ball, easy fly ball to right field, and making the catch. Out there is none other than Jake Dunn. So 1 up, 1 down for Martin Dihigo. Dihigo has committed 2 of the 3 errors for the Manchester Red Bolts. Would like to redeem himself here. Grounded back to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. So setting the target is Perez. And Law winds and deals. Count even. Fastball on Dihigo. And this one, strike 3 called. That's the 4th strikeout for Vern Law now. So Law has definitely settled down, except for that calamitous top of the 1st. It's been all zeros for Manchester ever since. And Law allowing the Sharks not only to get back into the game, but have an early lead as we're in the middle 3rd of this game. Kenny Lofton in the box now. So Kenny, 1 for 2. Grounded first his last time up. Vern Law kicks and deals. The 1-0. Fastball. This one, chopper to second. Hornsby up quickly and on to Dave Orr for out number 1. Or to retire to the side, I'm sorry. So no runs, no hits, nor errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. And it is still 4-3. Clinton Park says, trivia guys, we have pretty much seen Steve Arlen of the Padres below average pitcher, but what else? He's known for something else. What was it? I'll put that out there for everybody, because I don't know a lot about the San Diego Padres. Nate Colbert, things like that. But I have no idea. I don't even know who Steve Arlen is. I don't know if I should know him. And actually, I need to check something here for you guys, because it's something that I want to start doing from Sabre. So we'll move this over. And let's find it. Today's Horsehide Trivia question. Which Hall of Famer managed and made the last out of a Watershed World Series? Hint number 1, no doubt a colorful manager. He managed the Browns, Reds, and others. Hint number 2, 21 men under his managerial and coaching guidance have been elected to the Hall of Fame. And hint number 3, he's the only qualifying position player in the National League to finish seasons batting over 400 in the 20th century 3 times. So there you go. That is from Sabre. And a little bit of horsehide trivia. Good stuff. So get your thinking caps on. And no, I do not. However, we had one yesterday. Which left-handed hitting Hall of Fame Detroit center fielder of the 1920s had the 3rd highest batting average of that decade playing for Motown? The first hint on that was he had an unusually close relationship with his bats. And hint number 2, according to a reliable source, he hit more career Major League home runs during his unique era than anyone. The answer, nobody got it. Turkey Stearns. So between 1923 and 1929, playing for the Detroit Stars, Stearns batted .360, just 1 point lower than Ty Cobb did between 1920 and 1926 while playing for the Tigers. However, right-handed batting right fielder Harry Heilman topped them both with his .364 average amassed for the Tigers during the same time period. Stearns carried a 34-inch model to hit for average and a 35-inch version when swinging for the fences. These he kept in sturdy cases, so it says violin cases, but obviously these are going to probably be cello cases. But anyhow, and after a particularly difficult game would sometimes talk to them while lying in his hotel room's bed. Teammates would overhear him thanking his bats for delivering big hits or admonishing them for popping up. "If I had used you," one teammate recalls Stearns saying to a bigger bat, "I would have hit a home run." And then, oh no, Negro League records are admittedly incomplete. BaseballReference.com's tabulation of the statistics after MLB recognized him as Major Leagues in 2020 put Stearns 187 home runs, just ahead of the totals of Mule Suttles, who had 180, and Josh Gibson at 166. Again, in that time frame, in this era between 1920 and 1926. So there you go. Horsehide trivia for you. And big clue answering already. Duh, Hornsby. So yeah, that was that hint number 3. All right. The usual suspects are here. Welcome in, Todd B. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right, back to ball game action. I should alert the manager of Manchester that Guy Hecker looks to be tiring, and the 5-run rule not in effect here. So just to let you know. All right, Benny Koff will lead it off here. Koff 0 for 2 in the contest. He is grounded to short and grounded to second, but was safe on an error in the third. Guy Hecker wheels and deals the 0-1. Spitball and base hit left field. Benny Koff rounding first, but he will hold as Williams gets the throw in. Guy Hecker is now tired, and I have no idea if MV is still here. So I'm going to give it a minute to see if MV's here. Yeah, nice story about Turkey Stearns. How about it? MV, if you're here, if you're not here, I'll have the chat do the, I guess, a pitching change, because obviously the man's tired. So Hecker did pretty well. We look at the line for him thus far: 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and a strikeout. And yeah, it should be a pull automatically. And I don't want to take the chance the AI might pull him, but I'm not sure how MV has his manager file set up. And knowing MV, he would have answered by now. So we're going to go ahead and make an executive decision. So, gents, what I'm looking here is the best choice is going to be Francisco Rodriguez, but he only has a 25 expected pitch count. As far as anybody can do some distance would be Juan Marichal. If I show starters, MV's pitching staff is kind of getting their butts kicked a little bit. He's got he's got 5 pitchers that would be working on short rest. So, guys, here's who we have that would be viable. So these are the guys without that would not be so pitching on short rest, and that would be John Hiller, Francisco Rodriguez, and Juan Marichal. Okay, so we've got 1 vote for Donaldson, who is pitching on short rest, 1 for Marichal, and V doing his Ned Beatty impression, right? All right, I need a tiebreaker vote here, or I'm going to go with the guy that has of the two, the lesser chance of getting up a hit. So Marichal could definitely work some middle relief here and try to keep Arlington quiet here. So we got 1 for Marichal, 1 for Donaldson, and nobody wants to make that third vote. bring in Ernie Shore. Sure, we can bring in Ernie Shore. If he was on this team, I would. All right, I think Donaldson, because he's working on short rest, we're going to bring in Juan Marichal. Thing is, though, is Donaldson, Marichal has just a tiny bit less chance of giving up a hit. 40.7% chance that John Donaldson is going to give up a hit as opposed to Juan Marichal at 38.3. Rodriguez just doesn't have the gas for this. Only 25 an expected pitch count. Probably want to save him and John Hiller coming out of the pen. So it's going to be Marichal. All right, for Juan Marichal, a 6.81 earned run average as he comes to the game. Does his warm-up pitches. 5 wins, 4 losses. He's pitched 120 and 1/3. Walked 24, struck out 76. The league hitting 304 against Marichal, and his whip is 1.479. So 2 votes for Marichal. There we go. All right, Benny Koff, aggressive lead off first. Nobody out. 4-3 Arlington lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And batting now, Hannes Wagner. So wouldn't be surprised to see a little hit and run action here. Marichal throws over. Benny Koff is back ahead of Collins Tag. Marichal kicks in, fires the 2-0 delivery to the Flying Dutchman. Wagner swings, base hit, center field. Koff rounding second as Lofton fires the ball quickly into Alex Rodriguez, preventing Benny Koff from moving to third. So 2 ducks in the pond for the Arlington Sharks. And brings up the Raja. So Hornsby has grounded out, and he was intentionally walked. Here is the pitch from Marichal. And they're going to once again intentionally walk Rogers Hornsby to get to first baseman Dave Orr. With nobody out here, Marichal is going to need to bear down. Do they concede the run? Infield playing normally. Dave Orr in the game has grounded. He was safe in a throwing error, and then in that bases loaded situation after Hornsby was intentionally walked back in a third, he sacrificed scoring Benny Koff. So from the stretch, Juan Marichal works the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, and this one line to third, and making a nice play over there, Mike Schmidt. So a big out for the Manchester Red Bolts. 1 away. Now Marichal looking double play here. Benny Koff at third, Hannes Wagner at second, Rogers Hornsby at first. What a trio. And here's Jimmy Williams, RBI triple. He is 1 for 2. Marichal working from the stretch in the 2-0 delivery. Fastball coming in. Jimmy Williams pops this one to center field. A gentle one, but deep enough. This will score Benny Koff, and the Arlington Sharks padding their lead. It is now 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And into bat now, Salvador Perez. So 1 in, 2 gone. And Perez with a double back in the 4th inning. Marichal winds and fires. Here's the 0-2. The fastball. Perez, base hit, left field. Rounding third is Hannes Wagner. He will come in to score. They're going to flash the stop sign for Rogers Hornsby. And the Sharks now taking a more of a commanding lead. It is 6-3. Marichal not quite getting it done, but again, a decimated pitching staff here for these Red Bolts. They're feeling pretty confident, though, at 62-44. Rafael Palmeiro has grounded out twice. Salvador Perez at first, no speed, and pretty good speed, Hornsby at third. Marichal pitching with 2 down from the stretch. Fastball, and this one laced up the middle. RBI single for Rafael Palmeiro. And to score is Rogers Hornsby. It is now 7-3 Arlington Sharks here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Robbie Wartburg probably is here, probably playing MLB The Show, Baseball for Windows, Diamond Mind, out of the park in Action PC and Stone Cold Hockey all at once while still appearing over the game. So, Robbie, we hope you're doing well. This is turning into a slaughter, and you usually don't associate slaughter with the Arlington Sharks, but this one's starting to turn into a laugh for baseball fans. All right, Jake Dunn now to hit. Jake Dunn, RBI single, scored Salvador Perez back in the fourth. Perez at second, Palmeiro at first. Here is the wind and the 0-2 from Marichal. Fastball, Jake Dunn, base hit. This one over the head of A-Rod. Ted Williams up with it, and they're going to send Perez. And the throw into third, the slide, the tag, and Rafael Palmeiro is safe. It is now 8-3. Arlington's bats coming alive here in the bottom of the fifth, and with 2 out, 4 in, brings up Don Baylor. And the way Marichal is pitching, this might be just the time that Baylor will extend this 8-game hitting streak. Don Baylor struck out back in the third and grounded into a double play in the fourth. Cousin Ken, don't know if you're in here earlier, but if you haven't, I heartily suggest you pick up a book that I'm reading along with Baseball in the Garden of Eden. This is called Tales from the Dead Ball Era, and the author is Mark Halfin, and getting some brilliant insights into the book, in this book about Ban Johnson and his relationship with Hal Chase, and how the American League pretty much enabled a lot of Hal Chase's, pretty much all of Hal Chase's shenanigans, if you will. It really took Christy Mathewson, finally, after the league president, after managers, nobody else. Great book for anybody. It's well written at a very breezy pace. Good stuff. Good stuff. So Marichal now ready to deal with a Don Baylor. Runners at first and third, 2 down, 8-3 your score. Marichal deals curveball, and Don Baylor swing and a miss to end the inning. However, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. We go to the top of the sixth, and it's the Arlington Sharks 8 and the Manchester Red Bulls 3. Chick Stahl will lead it off here, followed by Josh Gibson and Alex Rodriguez. No, you did see it wrong. It was runners at second and third. Robbie can put all on that in his Tinder profile. Absolutely. Although you may not have, I've seen that happen in real baseball. I've seen that happen in Worlds, and you know, when you've got a fearsome power hitter up there. Come on, there was the time that the bases were loaded, and who was it that walked Barry Bonds? So it will happen. But I think first base was open, but I'm not sure. You could rewind and correct me. It could very well be, but I wouldn't call that something anomalous. I would call it unusual. But since a real major league manager signaled a walk for Bonds in a bases loaded situation, why not? Well, again, Clinton, I don't know. I don't even know that pitcher from San Diego Padres. So hopefully maybe the folks here in the chat will be able to answer it. I have none. So we'll check, but tonight's answers for tomorrow, or we'll go over tomorrow, should be Rogers Hornsby. So Big Clue gets one for that. Buck Showalter might be. One of the freebies, 1991 baseball season, says Todd B. So a little freebie weekend at Action PC. $5 minimum purchase and pick up the 1991 baseball season if you don't have it. As a Bucko fan, I have it, but that'd be a season I would definitely want to get. Get it for free, and only for $5 minimum purchase. Same name, I don't know. Okay, if you went back and looked, if they did it again, I would call it unusual, but not something that would say like, oh, wait a minute, the AI's really messed up here. Besides that, if you have Dave Orr on deck and you got a pitch to Hornsby with 2 on, I would probably load the bases too. But then again, I'm not a manager, am I? All right, here's the 2-2 to check Stahl. Stahl swings, base hit. This one line to left past Hannes Wagner. And that will be hit number 6 for the Red Bolts. And here we go. Well, again, World's Worst Gamer. What can I say? I know your feelings about AI managers, and I'm not going to get into a discussion about it. I get it. It's a game. So AI is not perfect. And you have to remember, too, that people set up their own manager files, too. So, there's multiple AI running. Don't know what to tell you, my friend. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, Chick Stahl with some good speed there. 33 steals last season, only 3 this season, but Stahl out for about a month and a half injuries. All right, here's the 0-1 to Josh Gibson. Gibson swings, fly ball left field. Palmero has it in his sights and in his glove. Chick Stahl will get back to first. Out number 1, KDKA, Pittsburgh, PA. Oh, okay, so would that be the... Oh, yeah. First baseball broadcast, 1921. That was his granddad. I forget his first name. That's it. Arlen, right? The Padres thing threw me off. Yes, that's the first radio baseball broadcast, KDKA, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Also the only radio station east of the Mississippi with a K designation. Harold Arlen. Okay, thank you, Clinton. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, okay. I was thinking, okay, this guy's grandfather played for somebody that is really famous, but a different name, like this Arlen's maternal. I didn't even make the connection. Great trivia question, Clinton. Thank you. Clinton Parks always coming in here with a good stumper, even with the strep throat, man, that he blames on the Rhode Island scum, he says, that comes in here. All right, 2 ground outs for A-Rod. Stahl at first, good lead, 1 away. Vern Law kicks and fires the 3-1 to A-Rod. Rodriguez swings lined right to Hannes Wagner. So that froze Stahl at first. 2 away here, Vern Law. Again, now settling down, pitching a pretty fine ball game, baseball fans. So needs to get this 3rd out here, however, and it's Mickey Mantle. Mantle has struck out and walked. Law's delivery, fastball to Mantle, and Mantle fouls this one back. Mantle back in the box, the count 0-1. Here it comes. Curveball, and Mantle takes this one. Easy fly ball to center. And Kenny Lofton. Or I'm sorry, not Kenny Lofton. Let's look at the replay on that. Benny Koff will make the catch. And we will go to the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hits, no errors. And it's still Arlington 8, Red Bolts 3. So Arlen pitched some really bad for some bad 70s Padres team, says Todd B. Yeah, I love that one, Clinton. But I never heard of Steve Arlen. But again, I don't know much about the Padres. So, mea culpa. But what a great trivia question that one is. Good to see folks hanging out tonight. Benny Koff, 1 for 2, singled back in the 5th. Juan Marichal on in relief. Here is the 1-2 curveball, and this one called strike 3 below the belt. So that is out number 1 here in the 6th, bottom of the 6th, and it brings up Hannes Wagner. The Flying Dutchman singled back in the 5th. Marichal delivers the 1-1. Wagner swings, fly ball to left, back toward the track. Teddy Ballgame leaps and grabs. So big loud out by Hannes Wagner. 2 away here for Rogers Hornsby. Rogers Hornsby has been intentionally walked, and actually there was not nobody on. I'm looking now at this recap here that pops up. That happened in the 5th, World's Worst Gamer, and that moved Benny Koff to 3rd and Wagner to 2nd. So you were right that there were runners on 1st and 2nd. You were right in that. But remember, Hornsby was intentionally walked twice. Again, that was an unusual call, but it does happen. But yep, showing right here in the 5th inning, intentionally walked, Koff to 3rd, Wagner to 2nd. Hornsby will get a chance to actually bat here with 2 down and the base is empty. Here's the wind and the delivery from the Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer. The 2-0 pitch. And this one chopped to second. And Martin Dihigo once again bobbling the ball. That is error number 4 for the Red Bolts. And 3 of them committed by Martin Dihigo. So Rogers Hornsby aboard courtesy of the E4. And it brings up Dave Orr. Line to third back in the 5th. Dave Orr involved in 2 bases loaded situations. Marcel deals. There goes Hornsby. The throw down by Gibson. And the tag not in time. And the Raja picks up his 4th stolen base. Clinton says, having a weird night listening here. Playing Dodgers Phils 1965 National Pastime 3, and have Kingdom of Heaven up for a movie. Nice. Nice. All right, Hornsby in scoring position. Arlington looking for its possible 9th run, and here is Dave Orr back in the box. Here's the pitch. There goes Hornsby moving to third. The hit and run was on. Base hit. Right field. Chickstall up with it. And they're not going to throw home. Hornsby does indeed come in with run number 9 for the Arlington Sharks. Actually, as we look at the line score here for the Arlington Sharks, the only inning that Arlington was held scoreless was the first. So 2 in the second, 1 in the third and fourth, 4 in the 5th, and 1 thus far in the 6th. So Dave Orr at first base, 10 steals for him. Jimmy Williams at the plate now. Jimmy Williams 1 for 2. Here's the wind and the pitch from Juan Marichal. And Orr off to the races. The throw down by Josh Gibson. And Dave Orr is caught stealing to end the 6th inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. We have 6 in the books here at Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas. It's the Arlington Sharks 9 and the Manchester Red Bolts 3. Mike Schmidt will lead it off here. The number 6, 7, 8 hitters due up. Schmidt, Collins, and Williams. Mike Schmidt has grounded into 2 double plays in the contest tonight. That big cross breeze coming down here a little bit in Texas. Still rather warm, though. Temperature easing down to 85 degrees. Vern Law winds and fires to Mike Schmidt. The 0-2, and big cut and a miss by Mike Schmidt. So Vern Law picks up strikeout number 5, and that brings up Ripper Collins. Ripper has struck out and fly to deep center. Vern Law with the 0-2 fastball, swing and a miss. And that one, very, very close call, actually. The swing and a miss, but little argument there from Collins. As he said, no, Ripper Collins, I held up. And umpire says swing and a miss, strike 3. So that is K number 6. For Vern Law. So Vern Law seems to be picking up steam as it goes along, and this might be one of those rare occasions Christopher Slovic talked about when you get rocked in the first inning. Maybe there's not a death sentence this time. We shall see. Teddy Ballgame has struck out and flied to right center. Vern Law kicks and deals the 2-0 fastball. Williams connects on this one. Fly ball to right. This one high. This one deep. This one is out of here. Ted Williams goes yard on Vern Law, 342 feet. Ted Williams, 19th home run of the season. And the Red Bolts inch slightly closer. It is now 9-4. So 4 home runs for the Manchester Red Bolts. In this game, hit by Kenny Lofton, Chickstall, Josh Gibson, and Ted Williams. Here's Martin Dihigo. To say that he is having a kind of rough game is an understatement. 3 errors. He is also grounded out and struck out. Vern Law kicks and fires. First pitch swinging in this curveball. Bounding ball to second. Up with it over is Hornsby to Dave Orr to retire the side. Middle of the 7th, it is 9-4. All right, back to game action now here. We're in the home half of the 7th inning as Big Clue says that the only thing that came down on Texas tonight was the wrath of the Tampa Bay Rays. How about it? World's First Gamer says cue the comeback. Aaron Reed, late arrival to the park, says let me hear you good and loud. All right, Jimmy Williams due to lead off here for Arlington, holding on to a 9-4 lead. Williams will be followed by Salvador Perez and then Rafael Palmeiro. Rafael Palmeiro, not Rafael. I'm going to Egypt. Juan Marichal still in there in relief. He has worked 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Marichal kicks and deals. The 0-1 fastball. Jimmy Williams swings. Base hit. This one in the gap and left. Williams going for 2. Williams has himself a leadoff double, his 20th of the season. Here comes Arlington again. A season's worth of frustration for Arlington, having only 36 wins being expressed in this contest tonight. It's as if the Red Bolts are the Christians being thrown to the Lions here tonight. Salvador Perez now to bat. Perez has a single and a double in this game. He also has a sac fly back in the 2nd, scoring Ted Williams. Marichal works. The 3-1 coming home now. Fastball swung on, fly ball to left. Back deep on the track is Ted Williams to make the catch, and tagging at 2nd, moving to 3rd, is Jimmy Williams. Pardon me. All right, so it is 9-4, 1 away for Rafael Palmeiro. Palmeiro, RBI single scored Rogers Hornsby back in the 5th. Marichal from the stretch, and the pitch to Palmeiro, this fastball. First pitch swinging, base hit, left field. Palmeiro will pick up the RBI as Jimmy Williams comes in to score. It is now 10-2 in favor, or 10-4 in favor of the Arlington Sharks. As Ernie Harwell would say, 10-4 over and out. Jake Dunn now. Jake Dunn with an RBI single in the 4th and an RBI single in the 5th. Both times scoring Salvador Perez. Palmeiro leads off first. Marichal rubbing up the ball, kicks and fires to Jake Dunn. Dunn swinging the first pitch, fastball, bounding ball to short. Rodriguez will go to Diego for 1. Diego on the pivot to Collins for the double play. But another run in on 2 hits, no errors. 7 in the books, and it is Arlington 10 and the Red Bolts 4. Vern Law touched up for a home run in the 7th by Williams, but after that crazy first inning has kept the Red Bolts quiet. So we'll see if this can hold on. Vern Law, good for about another 45 pitches. Kenny Lofton, 1 for 3 to lead it off here. We're back at the top of the order for the Red Bolts. Chick Stahl and Josh Gibson on deck and in the hole, respectively. Vern Law kicks and deals. Lofton gets a bunt down, but Perez on it like white on rice, on to Rogers Hornsby for out number 1. So score that 2-3 if you're scoring at home, and why aren't you? Just kidding. All right, Chick Stahl. Solo home run. He grounded a pitcher in the 3rd and a single in the 6th. So Chicky having a good day in an apparent losing cause thus far. Vern Law with a leg kick and delivery. First pitch swinging, Stahl liner to center field. And this one easily handled by Benny Koff for the 2nd out of the inning. Big Josh Gibson. 1 for 3. Law's 0-1 pitch, curveball, and ground ball, base hit on the left-hand side. Palmeiro up with it, fires it in. Josh Gibson aboard now with 2 down, and it brings up A-Rod, who has a single in this game. 1 for 3. Gibson leads off first. Law with the 0-2. Perez out to have a quick word down with Vern Law. Back behind the dish. Law lets it go. Rodriguez swing and a miss. Strike 3. That is strikeout number 7 for Vern Law. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Time running out here for these Manchester Red Bolts. It's the Arlington Sharks 10 and the Manchester Red Bolts 4. Unbelievable. I think MV is just having he's probably having himself a good long kip, saying, we'll get him tomorrow. And indeed we will. We're going to sim out a couple days. I'm not going to go 2 weeks like some of the guys, like MV's doing, but we'll probably sim out the rest of today and then sim out all of the next day's games as well. All right, Don Baylor leads it off here. Baylor probably his last chance to extend this 8-game hitting streak. Juan Marichal with the 1-0. Curveball. Baylor swings. Fly ball down the left field line. Ranging back on it and making the catch on the track is Ted Williams. 1 up, 1 down for Benny Koff. Benny Koff has himself a single back in the 5th inning. So 1 for 4 for the Federal League star. Marichal with the 0-1. Benny Koff swings in this fastball. This one line to center. Koff looking for 2. Koff going for 2. Koff going for 3. The slide, the tag, and Benny Koff picks up his 12th triple of the year. 1 out. And these Arlington Sharks are going crazy here. 13 hits for Arlington. So the 11th run, potential 11th run, just 90 feet away. And here's Hannes Wagner. Wagner is 2 for 4. Marichal from the stretch and the 1-1. Wagner swings. This one chopped deep to short. That's going to be an RBI for Wagner. Coming in to score is Benny Koff. And it is now 11-4 Arlington. And Rogers Hornsby once again getting a chance now to bat with the bases empty. Intentionally walked twice. Hornsby riding a 6-game hitting streak. Marichal deals the 1-0. Fastball, fly ball to left. This one has a little bit more distance, but Ted Williams says he has it, and he closes the glove around it. We go to the 9th inning, and the Red Bolts down 7 runs. Who'da thunk it? Bringing up some power here, though. Mickey Mantle, Mike Schmidt, and Ripper Collins. But even if all 3 homer, this is still so much of anything. This is just going to be for pride to go down swinging. Vern Law kicks and deals the 0-2. And Mickey Mantle, strike 3 called. Law gets strikeout number 8. We say in this league that no lead is safe, but I'm going to say it here. This lead is safe. Just watching the way Manchester's been playing tonight. Mike Schmidt, we're going to speed this up now. Law deals to Schmidt. Here's the 1-2 curveball. Schmidt takes this base hit right field. Coming in on it. And making the play is Jake Dunn. So a runner aboard. Ripper Collins looking to extend his 7-game hitting streak. Law fires it in. The 1-1 fastball. Ripper Collins base hit to left. Could I have spoken too soon? We shall see. So 1 out, and Mike Schmidt tears around and makes it into third. So runners at the corners. Could this be the comeback? Could it be the comeback? Well, I say, oh my, oh my, oh my. Ted Williams, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch from the stretch. Vern Law, the 1-1 fastball. Teddy Ballgame ropes this one to right. Into scores Mike Schmidt. Williams digging for second. He's in there for his 26th double of the year. Ripper Collins moves to third. And it's now 11-5. So is it becoming a ball game? We'll see. Red Bolts now with 11 hits, 1 down. And Martin Diego, here's a chance for him to try to make a ball game out of this. 2 in scoring position. Vern Law with the check of the runner. Works from the stretch now. The 0-1. Diego, fly ball right field. This one high, but not deep enough as it comes down into Jake Dunn's glove. And coming in to score is Ripper Collins. It's now 11-6, 2 away. And we're back at the top of the order for the Red Bolts and Kenny Lofton. Vern Law deals the 2-2 to Lofton. And the strikeout ends the game. And the Arlington Sharks put a little bit of smack around on the Manchester Red Bolts. The Red Bolts mounting a ninth inning rally, but just able to get 2 out of it. So that should help matters. We're not going to do a big recap of the game because we just watched it. So Arlington improves to 37-67. Manchester falls to 62-45. The line for these teams for the victorious Arlington Sharks of 2011. 11 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Manchester Red Bolts of 1953. 6 runs, 11 hits, 4 errors. Vern Law gets the win. He improves to 1-2. Guy Hecker takes the loss. He will fall to 7-6. For Manchester in a losing cause, Josh Gibson goes 3 for 4 with a home run. Teddy Ballgame, 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Chick Stahl, 2 for 4 and a home run. For Arlington in a victorious cause, Salvador Perez goes 2 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Benny Koff, 2 for 5 with a triple. Jimmy Williams, 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. So we'll just quickly see who the MVP is. And MVP honor is given to Jake Dunn. So that does it for that game. We will autoplay out the others. And then we will move on to the KCCL 19th Century Dead Ball. All right, so Badlands in Jersey. We have Rhines versus Ford. And here we go. And it looks like we have a 6-0 score here. So Ford gets the win, Rhines gets the loss. So let's look in case, just in case. Nope. 6-hit shutout, though. We'll definitely good stuff. So Russ Ford improves to 14-8. Russ Ford tearing it up here in wins and losses. Rhines will fall to 3-9, and the MVP, of course, Russ Ford. For Badlands, shut out in this, but Rogelio Valdez goes 1 for 2 with a triple. For Jersey, Ichiro goes 2 for 4 and a stolen base. Chase Utley 2 for 4 and a double. On now to Detroit and North Sound, and this is going to be Ray Kramer versus Sandy Koufax. And Koufax and North Sound go down to Detroit 3-1. Look at the quick box score here and highlights of that game. So for the Detroit Coyotes, Fred Dunlap 1 for 4 with a home run. Felden Snow goes 2 for 4 with a double. Ray Kramer, the MVP. So Kramer improves to 1-0. Sandy Koufax falls to 6-12. Next game, Mudville versus Hawaii. This is going to be Mike Cuellar versus Tim Lincecum. And Hawaii edges Mudville 5-4. So that doesn't make me happy. That's my team, Mudville. Still have good hopes for Mudville. We fall to 56-50. Hawaii improves to 58-49. For my team in a losing cause, Andres Galarraga goes 2 for 4 with a home run. I have to look at my lineup and see why the hell Galarraga is activated. I had him inactive, but maybe somebody's injured. Hap Felsch goes 1 for 4. Had a home run, 3 runs batted in for the Hawaii Volcanoes. Carroll goes 2 for 3. Frank Carroll. Jacques Fournier goes 1 for 2 with a home run. And Smith goes 2 for 4 with a double. Sorry, I got distracted there, guys. Furpo Marbury is the MVP of this one. And finally, Des Moines versus Cleveland. This is actually a pretty good one. Cleveland at 54 and 51. Des Moines at 51 and 53. This is going to be Mort Cooper versus Lady Baldwin. And Des Moines takes this one from Cleveland, 9-4. So again, looking at the box score here very, very quickly. For Des Moines in a winning cause, Giancarlo Stanton goes 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. And Frank Robinson goes 2 for 4 with a double. For Cleveland, Bill Joyce 1 for 4 with a double, and he walked twice. MVP Giancarlo Stanton. Edgar Renteria was ejected in the game. So there we go. You gotta love ejections. All right. So that takes care of the games for this day. Let's let the standings catch up. And Jersey and Detroit still locked for first place. Manchester now 4 games back. Hawaii 8 back. Mudville 9.5 back. Cleveland 11.5 back. Des Moines 13 back. North Sound 17 back. Arlington 27.5, and Badlands bringing up to 34.5. Very, very quick. We'll just auto the next games without doing, unless we see something weird. So Jersey versus Manchester would have been a good one to do. Carl Hubble and Zach Greinke. Boy, I almost want to play that one out, but we're going to go ahead and auto it. 10-5. Carl Hubble gets the win. Greinke gets the loss. Carl Hubble improves to 12 and 7. Zach Greinke falls to 10 and 7. Willie Wells goes 2 for 5 with a home run. His 16th, 3 runs batted in. Hawaii against Cleveland. Here we go. This is going to be Johnny Antonelli, 3-finger Brown. And Hawaii continues its trying to move up. It's 7-6. Final score. Johnny Antonelli improves to 8 and 10. 3-finger Brown falls to 12 and 10. Heavy Johnson. I think it's Heavy Johnson. Is it Heavy Johnson? Let's look. Well. Anyhow, I believe that's Heavy Johnson. He goes 3 for 4 with a triple and 2 steals. First place Detroit against Des Moines. This is going to be Mike Scott, Cy Young. And Detroit all over Des Moines 7-1. Scott gets the win. Young tagged with the loss. Shoeless Joe goes 3 for 5 with 2 steals. Finally, the 2 bottom place teams play each other. Arlington and Badlands. This is Lon Warnicki and Ron Guidry. And Badlands takes care of Arlington 7-1. Guidry gets the win. Warnicki the loss. Lou Gehrig went 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in and a double. So that takes care of those days. And we are up to August 3rd, and there will be a full slate for MV or Steve Tate to take over. And we are going to, how about Russ Ford? Just crazy. Just crazy, just crazy. So now we do have, we still have a good race here, though. Mudville now 10 games back, probably out of it, but Jersey and Detroit hanging on, and hopefully going to see Jersey and Detroit face off. So it looks like Jersey, Detroit, Manchester, Hawaii, Mudville, Cleveland, Des Moines, North Sound, Arlington, and Badlands. And that does it for this. I've got to go ahead and zip this up and get it back onto the Discord for MV, and then we move on to the Ken Castro League. So appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. So we're about to go into the second game. And don't know if we'll make the decade grades. If not, but we are going to get this KCCL game. And tonight will be the 1912 Boston Red Sox and the 1884 Providence Grays in just a few minutes. So hang out, and we'll talk, and whatever. We'll get this done. All right. Export, zip link file. MV keeps calling it Daddy. Why are you calling it Daddy, man? I'm gonna mess them up here. I'm gonna call it Uncle. I'm crying Uncle over the Daddy thing. Okay, there we go. And let me put this in my league folder and begin zip. So, hopefully everybody is. With a daddy thing, man, I'm just like, huh? So yeah, we'll switch it up there for our lad from West Virginia. Envy he's a great guy. He's such a great guy. Just an amazing dude. So, just letting this zip. This takes a little while. We were just doing just box scores, but now for some reason we're actually. I think I have like 8 Howie Shanks directories. So when this one's over, I'm going to be cleaning out lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, it must be a hillbilly thing, right? Kind of like they go to a family reunion to get a date. Anyhow, all right. Now I've got to move this over to our MV. Theoretically speaking, of course. All right. Hopefully you guys are rolling up some good things, having a good time. Hopefully the 2023 baseball season, despite all its crazy rules, are kind of making you're like, I'm kind of down with this. I'm kind of cool. Very happy with my Bucks. Glad we always play the Mets. There's always that kind of Mets thing. So good to take care of them tonight. At least I think. I haven't checked. I'm hoping we did. It looked like we did. Where is that damn zip file? Where'd you go? There it is. No, it isn't. Wait a minute. Date modified. Date modified. I did call this uncle. Oh, I know why. I really. So if you're ever playing this, insist upon, like, just insist that you want everything. Because there it is. All right. Just one name for the league, please. Oh, geez, I almost put that in the wrong Discord. That would have sucked. People would be like, what's going on? Okay, here you go, MV. MV. Does that stand? I wonder if he's of 2005. Does that stand for 2005? Is he just MV because it's maybe perhaps they are his initials? Who knows? But there we go. Okay. All right, Big Clue says that he's playing some Super Mega Baseball 4. Downloaded this afternoon. What do you think of it, Big Clue? Do you like it? I haven't bought it yet. I've not bought it yet. I've been really playing a lot of Diablo 4, some Age of Wonders 4. Although now I've got to stop because Age of Wonders 4 is releasing the Wyvern patch and the first DLC, Dragon Dawn. So it's kind of been a lot of baseball and Diablo 4. MV, you snooze, you lose, literally in this one. Very catchy. Yeah, it's fun. It is really fun. It's such a fun game. Looking forward to getting it. Just right now, I'm just so into the rabbit hole of Diablo 4. So, but glad you're enjoying it, man. So MV, you lost. We'll just put it that way. But it's okay. You get him another day, right? Let me just do a final check on my Pittsburgh Pirates, and we win 14-7. Go Buccos! Did Milwaukee lose? Let's hope. Well, Oakland doing us a favor, so leading Milwaukee 5-2. So that's good. Here we are. We're in June. These Pirates are pretty surprising right now. So we're half game back. And if Milwaukee loses, we're in a tie with them. Nice. All right, let's switch it up now, and let's get out of the Shanks League. I did 2 days MV, And just wanted to let you know, I should have put August 2nd, but it's the latest one in Discord, and I simmed out. I did August 1st and August 2nd, so but it still has the June 9th date on it. I just don't want you to be confused. Yeah, absolutely, right, Big Clue. You want a few hundred more legends in there. I think that's going to happen. But I do want to buy it. I do want to buy it. I'm just when I fire up the PS5, if it's not MLB The Show, it's Diablo 4. So, hey, you're welcome, Clinton. Thank you for coming in. All right. Here we go. On to game number 2. And we go to the Ken Castro League. And tonight's game, this is going to be a game that's going to be a little bit of a, going to be a tough one for Cousin Ken because, again, he's predicting the 1912 Red Sox to take it all. And they're playing his favorite 19th century team, the 1884 Providence Grays. The 1912 Red Sox holding a 2-0 lead over the Grays. Let's do this. Oh, why do I keep getting this stupid thing about chronological order? This is you get strange things. There we go. Hopefully that should fix it, and it does. All right, Boston's the home team because I don't know if Ken. Actually, we'll see if Ken's in here first before we decide how we do this because computer would normally be this. KCCL, baby, says Aaron Reed. Very glad this has turned out to be something that people like. Yeah, I have Super Mega Baseball 1 and 3. So skip past 2. It was kind of just incremental, but yeah. I'll probably buy it. I mean, I will. Just don't know when. So, Cousin Ken Castro, we're going to assume that you're going to be here, and we'll let the computer manage the 1912 Red Sox. Okay, he says, let's go Friday Night Baseball. Ken, you get to manage the Providence Grays, or at least set the lineup, whatever you want to do. So, here we go. Providence Grays going to be facing Hugh Bedien. So, let me see. Is there a right-handed lineup for this? Maybe, maybe not. Nope, there's not. All right, I'm going to set a computer lineup, Cousin, and you tell me if you're happy with it. It's going to be Paul Hines, Joe Start. It's going to be Carroll, Gilligan, Denny, Irwin, Farrell, Radford, and Conley. Got to defer to you on this one, man. Providence Grays looking to stave off elimination here against the 1912 Boston Red Sox. You know, World's Worst Gamer, I'm hearing pretty good things about Super Mega Baseball, and it's got like 1.5 million game modes to it, and the Shuffle Draft looks like it's really, really fun. You can play as an arcade game. You can play it like you play MLB The Show, and you can actually just watch the game too. You can manage. So it's not. The first game was really Super Mega Baseball. The first one was a Twitch game, straight up. But I might get it, and I like it. Besides, you set that ecosystem. If you're hitting and pitching kind of sucks, you can ease into the game, which is really nice. I think MLB, yeah, I know it does. In fact, MLB The Show has something similar. I'm not hearing anything from Cousin Ken, so we're going to go with this lineup for Providence. Here we go. Yeah, the ecosystem is really cool in Super Mega Baseball. You guys are tempting me to... oh my God, you're tempting me big time to buy it. All right, so welcome. Here we are at a very early Fenway Park. No seats, and it ain't a green monster, but lots of fun advertising. Let's look at the starting defense for the 1912 Boston Red Sox. In left field, Duffy Lewis. In center, the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker. In right, Hall of Famer Harry Hooper. From first to third, at first base, Jake Stahl. At second, Steve Yerkes. Count how many times I call him Chickstall tonight. At short, Heine Wagner. At third, Larry Gardner. Catching, Bill Kerrigan. And on the mound, Hugh Bedian. Bedian in this tournament with a 3.38 earned run average, no wins, 1 loss, is 8 innings pitched. He has walked 3 and struck out 6. Also, Cousin Ken, wanted to let you know I have the 1915 World Series set up and ready to go. The 1915 World Series in out of the park baseball. So we'll see if the Phillies can turn it around against the Red Sox. That'll be coming up soon. All right, Paul Hines leads it off here for the Providence Grays. Hines hitting a crazy 625, so he's 5 for 8. Hines with a double in this tournament. 5 runs batted in, 2 runs scored, 2 steals. Hugh Bedian has finished his warm-up pitch as Bill Kerrigan sets the target, and Bedian's 0-2 delivery to Paul Hines. And we'll look at the weather here in a second here in Boston. Hines swings lined right to Heine Wagner, and we are underway. 1 up, 1 down. So the weather here at Fenway Park is 46 degrees. It's clear. The winds 10 miles per hour out to right field. In the box now, first baseman Joe Start. Joe Start hitting 400 in the tournament, including a double. Bedian deals. Joe Start swings in his first pitch. Fly ball right field. Back on it, Harry Hooper to make the grab. So 2 up, 2 down here for Providence in the first. And it brings up Cliff Carroll, the left fielder, hitting an even 300. 2 runs batted in for Carroll. Put Old Haas in right field batting 8th. So, yeah, Radbourne. So you want to take out Radford. You want to take out Radford. Okay. Can we do that now? Can we do that now? We can do that now. So we're going to put Old Haas in there in right field and have the game yell at us. We can do that. I'll gotta wait till they're at bat. All right, I will try to remember myself. What am I thinking? Bedian deals to Cliff Carroll. Base hit. This one going to the wall for extra bases. Harry Hooper giving chase. Cliff Carroll rounding second. He's going to go for 3. Hooper with a strong throw. Hits cutoff man Steve Yerkes. The throw to third. Larry Gardner's tag not in time. So Cliff Carroll picking up his triple here with 2 away. And that's the first hit in this ball game. So here is Barney Gilligan, and if it gets down to Radford, we'll pinch hit and keep Old Haas in the game. So you're going to be, you'll be sacrificing Radford, but not a problem. Barney Gilligan is 0 for 8, but in 1884 hit 245, including a home run and 38 runs batted in. Hugh Bedian checks the runner Carroll at third. No real threat to do anything. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Gilligan swings, base hit, center field, and Gilligan makes the quick turn at first and gets into second with an RBI double. And the Providence Grays have a run on the board here on the top of the first. And, of course, this game, just one umpire, and now the umpire will go out and call balls and strikes from behind the back of Hugh Bedian. So we will see whether Gilligan will cut third, as they used to call it, or cut the bases. Jerry Denny due up. Jerry Denny, he of the modern baseball name, is 0 for 10. Bedian deals. Here's the 0-2. Jerry Denny swings, fly ball center field. The Gray Eagle has it in his sights and brings it down for out number 3. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. We've played a half inning. The Providence Grays won, and the 1912 Boston Red Sox coming to back. He says Conley on a short lease anyway. Conley was a fresh college kid out of Holy Cross. All right, so Radford is going to be out, and Radbourne is going to be in at right field. So there we go. Old Haas in the game, and Radford, I guess, will go back to the house and maybe catch a nap, because players in those days had to sleep 2 to a bed when on the road. So Radbourne has the St. Mattress of the Springs, all to himself. The starting defense now in left field for the Providence Grays: Cliff Carroll. In center, Paul Hines, a forgotten player from the 19th century, unfortunately, and of course the great Hoss Radbourne in right field. Radbourne could also pitch, play first, second base, shortstop, center, and center field as well. From first to third, Joe Start at first, Jack Farrell at second, Arthur Irwin at short, Jerry Denny at third, Barney Gilligan cashing, and Ed Conley, who manager Ken Castro says will be held on a short leash. Pitching, Conley's line for 1884, a 2.15 earned run average, 4 wins, 4 losses, 22 walks, 53 strikeouts. So for a kid just out of Holy Cross, an Irish kid out of Holy Cross University, the league hit 223 against him in 1884. His whip was 1.197. The Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker, will lead it off here for the 1912 Boston Red Sox. Speaker having an absolutely superlative tournament, hitting .381, including a home run and 4 runs batted in. Absolutely another adult reference. Well played, Cousin Castro. Cousin Ken, yep, the short leash, wearing the collar. We've got it. What was the one I did one night and lost my shit? Grounded, or what was it? Wagner took it deep in the hole, was what I said. It was so bad. All right, Conley deals to Tris Speaker the 3-0, and Speaker lays off. Taken all the way, and Tris Speaker is aboard the all-time leader in doubles, and the only player in Major League history to have 3 20-plus hitting streaks in the same season, the great Tris Speaker. Larry Gardner now, the hot corner man for the Red Sox, at a torrid 450 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Okay, person playing steam. You can go away now. Go on. There you go. All right, Conley winds and deals and pitch out, but Speaker not biting. Ed Conley deals again, the 1-0 changeup, and Gardner gets the bunt down, and Start will go to Farrell covering. Speaker moves to second, so sacrifice successful. Tying run in scoring position for the Boston Red Sox, and brings up Jake Stahl. Stahl hitting .250, 3 runs batted in. Conley wheels and deals, the 1-2, and this one gets by Gilligan, and they're scoring that one, a wild pitch by Ed Conley. So Tris Speaker now 90 feet away with the tying run for Boston. Count even on Jake Stahl as he steps back in the box. Ed Conley fires it in. Curveball, and Stahl hits this one 1.5 miles, and you can kiss it goodbye over the left field wall. He took that one and just hit it into, however Fenway is oriented. Let's see, southpaw, south, north. So, yeah, I mean, let's just say gone. 330 feet, and the 1912 Boston Red Sox out to a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. All right, Duffy Lewis now batting with the bases empty, 1 away. Conley brings it. The 1-2 to Duffy Lewis. Fastball. This one will be extra bases into the gap and left. Duffy Lewis with the double. And how short of a leash is it going to be? Jake hit it and didn't stall. Out at the warning track, gone. Well done. Well played, world's worst gamer. Love it. How short of a leash here, Cousin Ken? Young Mr. Conley. He could be getting rocked here. So Daddy, oh my God, big clue, you're killing me. He says, now if Daddy can reach third with Chicky on, that would be something. Oh, man. Oh, MV. Possible, I might be possibly visiting Ireland either this fall or early next year, and I'm going to make a little trip over to Wales from Ireland, and MV and I are going to have a little discussion. All right, Cousin Ken says to continue with Ed Conley, so we will do so. Good Catholic boy out of Holy Cross, excellent school. Heine Wagner now in there. The shortstop hitting .263 with a run batted in. Conley deals. Here's the 2-1. Wagner swings. Chopper to second. Farrell on to Joe Start for the 4-3 putout and out number 2. Duffy Lewis moves to third for catcher Bill Kerrigan. Kerrigan having a rather disappointing tournament. He is hitting .118 with just a run batted in. Does have 2 steals though. Little shot of Bill Kerrigan. There he is. Conley from the stretch in the 0-2. Kerrigan fouls this fastball back. Count now 0-2. Conley brings it home again. Changeup, and Kerrigan looks at a called strike 3. However, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. We've played 1 here at Fenway Park, and it's the Red Sox 2 and the Grays 1. Nothing wrong with Wales if you could overlook the Welsh. Exactly. That's why I tell people, if you're visiting France, France is beautiful as long as the French people aren't home. So, boy, is this my monitoring broadcast is showing way back, still showing that home run. Okay, now we're caught up. All right, Hugh Bidian will face Arthur Irwin. So Irwin in this tournament hitting .125. In 1884 for the Grays, he hit .240. Cousin Ken, feel free to. Oh, Irwin, big cut and a miss. Kerrigan able to hang on to that pitch. So Hugh Bidian picking up the strikeout. Any sort of anecdotes, little things you want to share about the Grays or the Red Sox or anything? Platinum memberships, please do feel free. World's Worst Gamer says, I just thought of a way to describe playing the 1933 New York Giants. It's like playing dead ball, but without the speed. I wish this team on nobody says he's going to finish this season if it kills him. Yeah, Big Clue says he grew up in the third world, and yet he'd never been to a dirtier, filthier city than Paris. Yeah. And more rude. Ruder city, whatever. They take pride in it. Yep. Oh, Paris, huh? All right, here we go. The wind and the pitch to Jack Farrell with 1 down and the 2-0. Fastball. Farrell swings. Chopping ground ball to first. Jake Stahl will take it to the bag himself for out number 2. And here's old Haas Radbourne. So here we go. Cousin Ken Castro giving us some really cool trivia. The first ballpark to provide a backdrop was the Providence Grays Messer Street grounds, and Clinton tried, we tried to find a Messer Street grounds and just couldn't do it. So nice fact there from Ken, interesting factoid, absolutely, World's Worst Gamer. Good stuff. Very forward thinking. All right, old Haas, 0 for 3 in this tournament. Bidian lets it go. The 0-1 to Haas Radbourne. Chopper deep to short. And Heine Wagner not able to hold on to that ball. And score that one E6. And Haas Radbourne with 2 outs aboard courtesy of that error. Here's Ed Conley. Ed Conley is making his first appearance in the tournament. Bidian delivers to Conley. Here's the 2-0. Conley swings fly ball center field. Speaker ranging in on it. Juggling the ball. And holds on to it. I think he was trying to play with old Haas because Speaker just doesn't miss a lazy fly ball to center. So no runs, no hits, 1 error. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the 1912 Boston Red Sox 2, the 1884 Providence Grays 1. Hall of Famer Harry Hooper will lead it off here, followed by Steve Yerkes and Hugh Bidian. Hooper hitting a .368 in the tournament with a run batted in. Ed Conley fires it in, the 2-1 to Hooper. Hooper, base hit up the middle, going for 2, and he is in there. So Harry Hooper picks up his second double of the tournament, and runner in scoring position for the Red Sox for second baseman Steve Yerkes, hitting .333 in the tourney. He is 5 for 15, including a double and a triple. 3 runs scored for Yerkes. Ed Conley deals now the 0-1. Fastball. And this one gets by Barney Gilligan. This one a pass ball. Gilligan getting crossed up there. And Harry Hooper moves to third on the play. Conley from the stretch once again. The 1-1. Yerke swings, grounded to third. Jerry Denny up with it. His play will be to Joe Start at first for the 5-3 putout. Hooper will come in to score the third Red Sox run. So 1 away, bases empty for pitcher Hugh Bedian, who hit 192 in 1912 with 7 runs batted in, 11 runs scored. This will be, he's 0 for 3, however, in the tournament. All right, Conley has the sign from Gilligan. We have us an Irish battery here. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Bedian cuts and misses on the curveball from Ed Conley. So 2 out, and the batting order flips back around to Tris Speaker. The Gray Eagle walked back in the first. Conley deals, full count to Speaker. Spitball missing, and Tris Speaker is aboard. Speaker at first, 2 away for Larry Gardner. Here is the delivery. And there goes Speaker, the throw down by Barney Gilligan, and Speaker in there with no problem. Stolen base for the Gray Eagle. So another run in scoring position for the Boston Red Sox as Gilligan sets the target for Ed Conley. Here's the wind in the 0-1. Fastball, and Larry Gardner swinging right through that one. And Ed Conley picking up his 3rd strikeout of the game. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. It's Boston 3, Providence 1. Paul Hines, we're back at the top of the order now for the Providence Grays. He lined to short back in the first. Hugh Bedian thus far has struck out 1, walked nobody. He has 7 strikeouts in this entire tournament. Bedian deals 2-2. Paul Hines grounds it to short. Heine Wagner and the easy one motion pick and throw to retire Paul Hines for out number 1. First baseman Joe Start gave it a ride to deep right. Bedian's 0-2 delivery. Spitball. Start swings on it. Comebacker up through the middle. Yerkes has a close play at first. This one gets by Jake Stahl. But Start will hold at first. Jake Stahl, nice play there at first to keep the ball near him. So that's an error. And that will bring up Cliff Carroll. So we'll see if the Providence Grays can... So Ken Castro says that Irwin had 54 errors on the season. His fielding percentage was .881. Just remember, though, guys, nobody wore gloves in 1884. But yeah, right, to see ya. So he made 88% of his chances. Absolutely horrid. Could you imagine? Whew. Could you imagine being a modern-day player with that kind of fielding average? That's crazy. So 2 teams in this tournament not part of modern baseball. The 1885 Chicago White Stockings, these 1884 Providence Grays, the other 19th century team on here, of course, would be classified modern baseball, the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. All right, 1 on, 1 out for Cliff Carroll. Here's Bedian's delivery. Cliff Carroll swings at the first pitch. There goes Joe Start, and Joe Start picks up the steal. So here comes Providence now with a runner in scoring position of 1 away. Cliff Carroll looking at the 0-1 delivery. And there goes Joe Start to third. The snap throw down by Kerrigan. And Joe Start fancies himself a bit of Jesse James here, still second. And then on the next pitch, steals third base. Here comes Providence. 90 feet away is run number 2. Cliff Carroll waits for the Hugh Bedian delivery, and it comes in the 0-2 fastball, and swing and a miss. Hugh Bedian picks up his 2nd strikeout. 2 down here for catcher Barney Gilligan. Have a look at Barney. There he is. And then for good measure goes and sacks Lawrence, Kansas. The pitch by the end to Barney Gilligan, the 1-2. Gilligan swings, fly ball, center field, but Speaker unable to get to this ball. It's off the wall. Gilligan going for 2, and he makes it and picks up the RBI double. Joe Start helping to manufacture that run, scores for Providence, and Providence now within 1. It is 3-2. Cousin Ken's got to be a little happy about that. But yet, he still has to contend with his prediction that the 1912 Red Sox are going to win this entire tournament. So, conflict of interest, we will see it. He's loving it. All right, so Joe Start steals second, third, and then the RBI double by a catcher, Barney Gilligan, to score the Grays' second run of the game. Here's Jerry Denny, fly to deep right center. Hugh by the end, winds and fires the 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Routine fly ball to center field, and Tris Speaker had him played perfectly for the third out. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. We've played 2.5 here at Fenway Park, and it's the 1912 Red Sox 3, the 1884 Grays 2. Big Clue says Guardians tie Astros 6-6 in the bottom of the ninth to force extras. And the 12th and 13th Astros went up a run only to have Cleveland match them both times in the bottom of the frame. Wow. It's now 9-8 Houston in the 14th. He says, wish you were calling that game. Oh, man, what a game is that. Whew. One of the billion reasons I love baseball. Crazy things like that can happen. How about it? All right, Jake Stahl will lead it off here in the bottom of the third inning. The Boston first baseman had that 2-run shot back in the first, giving Boston that 2-1 lead. The 0-1 pitch. Stahl swings and scorches this one to left. This one off the Fatima cigarette sign in left field. As Carroll gives chase, Stahl will slide into second with a leadoff double. So that's hit number 4 for the Red Sox, and it brings up Duffy Lewis. He of Lewis Duffy's Cliff, I should say. And he doubled back in the first. So Conley in there. He is up to 52 pitches, good for 150. So manager Ken Castro will be watching him closely. Headed to the bottom of the 14th in that Cleveland-Houston game. Big Clue keeping us abreast of that. Wild one out there. Yeah, you can type Indians in this chat. That's fine. You can still type Indians. Here, I'll even do it for you. There we go. Indians. There we are. There, you are. YouTube wants that. I'll say, look, dude. YouTube guys, they were the Indians much longer than they were the Guardians. So there you are. In the interest of baseball history and easing people into it, we can always make that sort of litigious argument. The Injuns, there we are. All right, Stahl at second. Conley deals to Duffy Lewis. Full count. Lewis sends this one back, and at the wall. Paul Hines making the catch. Jake Stahl, there, that's one. Jake Stahl tags and moves to third. So 1 out in the inning. Boston threatening here. And here's Heine Wagner. He grounded to second. Conley from the stretch and the full count to Wagner. And big swing and a miss. So big strikeout. And Ed Conley picking up strikeout number 4. Chief Wahoo is indeed a national icon. So I love when Todd comes in here. I love seeing the Chief Wahoo. So yeah, I love it. It's a great one. And I'll just say this. I don't know if too many, but again, people will come back. Now, you know what? Never mind. That's opening up I'm not. I was going to make an analogy to the leprechaun mascot for Notre Dame University, but let sleeping dogs lie. All right, Conley from the stretch, ready to work to Bill Kerrigan. Kerrigan struck out back in the first. The 3-0 delivery to Kerrigan. Kerrigan lays off, and Conley loses him. So that is strikeout number 3. Runners at the corners for Boston and 2 away. Yeah, I'm so used to seeing Tim is Tribe fan, but making his decision, and gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. Yeah, it was always cool. Hey, Tribe, what's up? It's kind of hard to say, hey, Clee, base, or whatever, but Tim's a good guy. Love him. Would like to see who's the bigger Cleveland fan between, between Tim and Todd B. Interesting. Harry Hooper, 1 for 1 in the game, doubled his last time up. Conley deals the 1-1 to the Hall of Famer. Fastball chopped to second. Farrell to start, and Conley gets out of it. How about it? So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 3 in the books here at Fenway Park. It's 1912 Red Sox 3 and the 1884 Grays 2. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Fatima Cigarettes, because that's the only one I can read out there. So this channel is not made for kids. So, but there you go. Fatima Cigarettes, sold at fine tobacconists everywhere. And if you're familiar with Monty Python, that should bring you a little chuckle with the great tobacconist sketch. All right, Arthur Irwin will lead it off here. He struck out back in the second against Hugh Bedian. Bedian has fanned 2 in this game thus far. Bedian with a leg kick in the 2-1 delivery. Change up to Arthur Irwin. And Heine Wagner, great play off to his right. And the hard throw as he catches this on the bounce and hits the dirt to retire Irwin. So 1 up, 1 down for Jack Farrell now. The Providence second baseman grounded to first in the second. Bedian kicks and deals the 0-2 curveball. And this one in at the knees for called strike 3. Bedian picks up strikeout number 3, 2 down here in the visitors' half of the 4th. And it brings up old Haas Radbourn, who is safe on an error back in the second. Bedian deals the 2-1 fastball. Radbourn, chopper to first. Stahl up with it quickly on the Bedian. And Providence goes quietly. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The score remains 3-2 in favor of the Red Sox. Steve Yerkes, Hugh Bedian, and Tris Speaker due up for the Scarlet Hose. So Big Clue says, don't want to open a can of worms. Did the same thing by not sharing what I want to call Toronto's MLB team right now. Todd is a damn good drafter, isn't he? Really, really is. So Cleveland ties the game. 9-9, man on second. Nobody out. Whew. Flying Circus, Monty Python's Flying Circus is now streaming on Peacock for free accounts. So there we go, some education. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. All right, here's the delivery to Steve Yerkes, the 0-1 curveball. Yerkes swings, lazy fly ball, left field, and Cliff Carroll had him played perfectly. 1 up, 1 down for pitcher Hugh Bedian, who struck out against Ed Conley. And Conley, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and holding these Boston Red Sox to 3 runs and just 4 hits. Conley deals the 0-2. Bedian sends this to center field, and Paul Hines handily handles the ball for out number 2. Walk off for Cleveland. Damn. What a crazy one that one was, huh? What a crazy game. Okay, yeah, because they MLB hasn't updated that yet. Yep, there it is. There it is. Wow. Gonna be fun to read about that one later on. Thanks, Big Clue. Let me see. Did Oakland do us a favor? Did Milwaukee lose? I hope so. Looking. And yay, thank you, Milwaukee Brewers. Thank you for losing. And the Pirates in Milwaukee, actually the Bucks in first place by a 1,000th of a percentage point. All right. Good stuff. Back to it. Looking at Ken's Phillies here really quickly. Phillies a game below 500. And Clinton's Red Sox playing at 500 in an extremely tough American League East. Can you believe these Tampa Bay Rays? Baltimore having a superb season. They're 39-24, and they're 6.5 back. The Yankees. Not that I'm a Yankee fan, but they're 9 games above 500, and they're 5.5 or 9.5 back. Tampa Bay. What was it, the old line that Dizzy Dean said, just close it up and go fishing and play in the World Series. Looks like Tampa Bay could do that. All right, Tris Speaker batting with 2 out and the base is empty. Here's Conley's delivery, the 3-1. Speaker pops this one to the third base side. Jerry Denny going toward the seats and makes the catch. And Boston goes meekly and gently into that good night. We go to the top of the 5th, still 3-2. Ed Conley, and then Paul Hines and Joe Start due up for the Providence Grays. Conley flied to shallow center, last time up. Hugh Bedian delivers the 2-1 to Ed Conley. Fastball chopped to short. Heine Wagner up with it. Quick throw onto Jake Stahl for the 6-3 putout. 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th. And leadoff hitter Paul Hines strides to the plate. He's lined to short and grounded to short. Bedian fires it in, the 1-1. Cut on, fly ball. This one high, this one deep. This one is out of here. Unbelievable. The Providence Grays tie it up on the big shot here. Let's look at that one again. How about it? Paul Hines gets all of this one. And I mean, this one is gone. If the Mass Pike was built in 1912, it would have hit it. But there you go. So touch them all, Paul Hines, and it is 3-3. Holy moly, says Ken Castro. What a shot. A guy was arguing with Big Clue a week ago, trying to say that Lefty Gomez is greater than Dizzy Dean. He was unconvincing. Yeah. Paul Hines, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Paul Hines, a forgotten player. Why is he not in the Hall? And he's never going to be. I don't think, didn't they say, I don't even think they're looking at 19th century anymore, which is really sad. Joe Start, a damn fine player as well. Lefty Gomez was in no way, shape, or form greater than Dizzy Dean. He had more letters in his name. So. World's Gamer saying now that the Blue Jays got Manoah out of the rotation, they should gain serious ground. Guy couldn't win a game to save his life. Joe Start now 1 for 2 with 2 steals today. Or I'm sorry, Joe Start 0 for 2. So Hugh Bedian with the 1-2. Start smacks this one in the gap and right. Start going for 2, and he's got himself a double. 5th hit now for the Providence Grays here. And 1 out for Cliff Carroll. He had a triple back in the 1st. He would score. Bedian delivers to Cliff Carroll. Carroll swings, come back to the mound. Bedian on to Jake Stahl for the 1-3 putout. Joe Start will hold second. So 2 down here and a run in for the Providence Grays here in the top of the 5th inning, bringing up Barney Gilligan. Barney Gilligan, what a day has he had. Back in the 1st, RBI double, scoring Cliff Carroll, and then in the 3rd, another RBI double, scoring Joe Start, who happens to be in scoring position right now. Can Barney Gilligan get the trifecta here? Bedian deals the 0-2 to Barney Gilligan. Fastball, this one grounded to Yerkes at second, and bad throw by Steve Yerkes, and the run will come in to score. Joe Start scores on the Yerkes error, and it's now 4-3 Providence Grays. So crazy game we have shaping up here. Ken Castro approving. As Jerry Denny steps in. Denny has flied out twice in the game. Barney Gilligan at first. Here's the wind and the pitch by Hugh Bedien. And there goes Barney Gilligan, the throw down, and he's safe. So Providence bringing a serious running game, as we saw Joe Start stealing second and then third, manufacturing a run for the Providence Grays. And here we are. It's 4-3 Grays. Looking to stave off elimination here. The 1-0 pitch to Jerry Denny. Denny swings, scorches this one to right field. He's going to pick up an RBI as Barney Gilligan rounds third. He will score. Harry Hooper giving chase. Denny's going to make second on the play. Hooper up with it. Denny going for three. Hooper hitting cutoff man Steve Yerkes. The throw to third, the tag, and Jerry Denny picking up the RBI triple. And the Providence Grays have plated three here in the top of the fifth, and it's 5-3. Did not see this one coming. Gotta love those Grays. Big clue. Absolutely. Arthur Irwin now to bat with a runner at third. Jerry Denny, a potential sixth run for the Providence Grays with two down here. He has struck out and grounded to short. Bedien deals from the stretch to Irwin, and here's the 1-0. Change up. Irwin, base hit up the middle. Trespeaker has it. Jerry Denny will score on the Irwin RBI single. It's the Providence Grays 6 and the 1912 Red Sox 3. So Arthur Irwin at first, and here's Jack Farrell. They're going to try to continue it here. 0 for 2. Farrell is in this game. So Bedien kind of getting rocked a little bit here now by the 19th Century squad. Farrell struck out back in the fourth, grounded out back in the second. Bedien delivers. And there goes the runner, and Arthur Irwin picks up the stolen base. So correct me if I'm wrong, gents, but I think that's, 5 stolen bases now for the Providence Grays. Ken Castro says he can't believe what he's seeing, but he likes it. All right, runner in scoring position for Providence. Bedien deals to Jack Farrell. Farrell swings, chopper to short. Wagner to Stahl, and this is going to be a bad throw. This one gets past Jake Stahl, and in to score. Is Arthur Irwin, and it is 7-3. 4 errors committed by the 1912 Red Sox, 2 in this inning. Costly. So the Grays right now, 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Boston at 3-4-4. Grays even playing a bit more of an efficient game, stranding just 3, plating 5 here in the fifth. Bedien sets and deals. Jack Farrell in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Radbourn, base hit to right field. Farrell will round third. Hooper up with the ball. They're going to send Farrell, and Farrell will score the 8th Providence run. Unbelievable. So Haas Radbourn picking up the RBI single to right. And this one continues. Bedien, this pitch count is just, oh my God, this is like an Ariane rocket. It's just gone. Can't say dead balls around people our age, says Todd B. Welcome in, Todd. We were talking about it's. We love seeing your Chief Wahoo. Loving it. Anyhow, back to the game. Yeah. So, World's Worst Gamer. The for the 1912 Red Sox, it's coming from some sort of season, whatever is being done. That's why it's not tracking errors for the Grays. But it is for Boston. So, yep. So, one of them is having the entire replay stats being tracked. So, yeah. Bedien now to work to Ed Conley. Can he keep it going? Haas Radbourn at first. Bedien delivers the 1-1 to Ed Conley. Conley swings. Chopping ground ball to short. Wagner quicking up with it over to Jake Stahl to finally retire the Providence Grays. But baseball fans, 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's the Providence Grays of 1884, 8, and the 1912 Boston Red Sox, 3. As Big Clue asking, what did the old lady's one breast say to the other breast? Don't be so low, they'll think we're not. Oh, there goes. Collectively, the pancreases in this chat have all just simultaneously imploded. They'll think we're nuts. Oh, man. Big Clue bringing the comedy tonight. So, Todd, you got to be happy with that Cleveland Guardians game, Indians game, whatever you want to call it. Big Clue was giving us the running account. What a game. What a win by Cleveland. All right, Larry Gardner will lead it off here, and didn't think I would say this, and no disrespect to the Providence Grays, but it's the Red Sox that have a lot of work to do now. So Larry Gardner has bunted out and struck out. Ed Conley with the 1-0 delivery and base hit left field. This one passed Arthur Irwin at short, so that's base hit number 5 for the Red Sox. One aboard, nobody down. Something for everyone, a comedy tonight. There we go. Taken from Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. I was in that show. I played the romantic lead hero. So, not that I was a romantic dude, but apparently I got the role because I can sing. Apparently. So, Jake Stahl having a great day. He's 2 for 2. 2-run homer, and then a double back in the third. Larry Gardner at first with 25 steals in 1912. Here's the 0-1 to Jake Stahl. Jake Stahl swings, fly ball deep to left, and back on it is Cliff Carroll making the play at Duffy's Cliff. How about that for some poetic justice? So 1 down, Larry Gardner gets back to first, and here is Duffy Lewis. He doubled and flied to very deep left center. Gardner into his lead at first. Ed Conley lets it go. The 0-2 fastball, and Lewis, swing and a miss, can't catch up to the fastball by Conley. And that is out number 2. Gardner holds it first. So manager Ken Castro saying that Conley would be on the short leash, but except for being touched up for 2 in the first and 1 in the second, Conley pitching a pretty decent ball game here. 4 2/3 innings pitched for him. 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and he has fanned 5. So this fresh-faced kid out of Holy Cross doing a good job for these Providence Grays so far tonight. Mick is in here. Hey, Mick, good to see you. Yep, he was the original Tevye Zero Mustel. Welcome in, Mick. Mick says, sounds like it's time for the bartender to cut off a few of you. How about it? But you know what? It took into the second game, Mick, of tonight for the chat to start to degenerate. So I think we're becoming kind of moral here, which really worries me. But Todd B's in here now, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna completely slide into the pits now, such that the great Jakob Rees, which at least Big Clue should know about Jakob Rees and his photos of the Bowery in the 19th century New York. We'll have Jakob Rees in here taking pictures of the chat pretty soon. Gardner at first, 2 away. Heine Wagner 0 for 2. Conley's 0-1. And he hits Heine Wagner. Whoa, big boos going up here around Fenway. It's a triple header tonight, long time before we're closing. Yeah, hopefully we'll get to opening day of this decade greats. Conley works to Kerrigan, the 2-0. Kerrigan cuts on this one, chopping ground ball to short. Irwin will go to Farrell to retire the Boston Red Sox. So no runs, hits, or errors. We have played 5, and it's 8-3. Paul Hines will lead it off here for the Providence Grays, and then Joe Start and Cliff Carroll. Paul Hines in the game, solo shot back in the 5th, and that is what started, that tied the game, and that started that big 6-run 5th for the Grays. Betty N sets and deals. And swinging on the first pitch, curveball, Jake Stahl will wave off Hugh Bedien and take it for out number 1 unassisted. Joe Start, 1 for 3. He has 2 steals today, doubled back in the 5th in that big 5th inning. Bedien works home to him the 0-1 fastball, come back to the mound. Bedien quickly fires on to Jake Stahl for the 1-3 putout, out number 2. So Bedien trying to break the momentum started by these Providence Grays back in the 5th, trying to get the 1-2-3 inning, dealing now to Cliff Carroll. Carroll not part of that big 5th inning. His hit was a triple back in the 1st. Bedien works the 1-1. Carroll swings. This one fouled on the right-hand side. This one will get out of play. The usher throwing the ball back to pitcher Hugh Bedien. Looks like the spectator over there will get a nickel beer for returning the ball. Very nice. I'm told that there's not a lot of rowdyism going on today in the stands, which is some news that will probably make the Boston Herald. Bedien deals to Cliff Carroll, and grounding ball to Heine Wagner. And bad throw by Wagner. This one gets past Jake Stahl, rolls all the way toward the dugout, and Cliff Carroll is in scoring position. That is error number 5 for the 1912 Boston Red Sox. And it brings up Barney Gilligan. Barney Gilligan is, what a day, a double. So he has 2 RBI doubles and was safe on an error, scoring Joe Start in that 5th. So Barney Gilligan could be in line for MVP should the Providence Grays hold on to this 8-3 lead here. Hugh Bedien sets and deals the 1-1. Fastball. This one gets by Bill Kerrigan. And this one is a wild pitch. And Cliff Carroll will make it to third. So the potential 9th run for the 1884 Providence Grays just 90 feet away. So Baseball Magazine, early dead ball stuff, gorgeous but very pricey. So if you want to read them online, Todd, and if you're a Sabre member, Baseball Magazine you can get to from Sabre. But yeah, Baseball Magazine was one of the great ones of the day, as Big Clue says. Baseball Magazine was an outstanding publication for many decades. Baseball Digest doesn't come close to replicating what Baseball Magazine was in its day. Yeah, wouldn't you? Could you imagine having a full run of Baseball Magazine? It could happen. It could definitely happen. Okay, so Barney Gilligan in the box. The 2-1 delivery from the stretch. Gilligan, a cut and a miss. And that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 Boston error. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Providence holding on to an 8-3 lead. Harry Hooper, Steve Yerkes, and Hugh Bedien due up for the Boston Red Sox. Hooper 1 for 2 in the game, doubled back in the 2nd, grounded to 2nd in the 3rd. Ed Conley has fan 5. Conley deals the 3-1 to Hooper. Hooper lays off. This one just missing low. And Gilligan arguing with the umpire, wanting that call. That one just missing. So 4th walk issued by Ed Conley, and it brings up Steve Yerkes, who is nothing for 2. Hooper, with 29 steals, definitely a threat. Gilligan not a strong arm behind the plate. Conley peers in, has the sign from Gilligan. Here is the wind in the 0-2. The runner does not go. Steve Yerkes swing and a miss. And that is strikeout number 6 for Ed Conley. So perhaps it is fortuitous that Ken Castro was away when I was waiting for who he wanted to start in this one, because Conley pitching a fine ball game. Hugh Bedien now. He has struck out and fly to center. The delivery. No, we don't. Hugh Bedien grounds this one to short. Irwin to Farrell, but Hooper's hard slide will break that up. Bedien aboard thanks to the fielder's choice. 2 down, and we're back at the top of the order for the Red Sox and Tris Speaker. Speaker has walked twice and popped a third. So keeping this big bat quiet has also been key for these Providence Grays as Conley brings it home. Speaker swinging on the first pitch, base hit, right field. Up with it is old hoss Radbourne. Bedian round second, and he's going to make third easily. In standing. And on the play, Speaker moved to second. Wait. And that's an error. And so Bedian will score. We've got to look at let's look at the replay on that. It looks like that he was just in there. So Radbourne up with the ball. Bedian is rounding second. Here's the throw, and it looks like it got past Jerry Denny, although it wasn't showing that on the chalkboard. So Boston inches closer. It is now 8-4. First error committed by the Providence Grays, and pretty amazing, pretty amazing. So these guys wearing no gloves, and the only error is a throwing error. All right. So let me look at the text replay on that. And it says, here comes the throw from Radbourne. Gets away from Jerry Denny. Bedian will be safe, and he will score on the Radbourne error. Okay, got it. All right, Ed Conley now to deal to third baseman Larry Gardner, who singled his last time up. Here's the wind in the 0-2. Gardner swings and misses on this, and that is the 7th strikeout for Ed Conley. A run scores for Boston, 1 hit, 1 error. We go to the 7th inning. The Providence Grays 8, the Boston Red Sox 4. Jerry Denny will lead it off here. Jerry Denny is 1 for 3. Big triple back in the 5th, scoring Barney Gilligan. Bedian deals the 2-0. Denny swings. Chop and ground ball to short. Wagner ranging to his right. Bad throw. This one in the dirt. Jake Stahl having to chase it. So Wagner making a nice play in the ball, but an errant throw. So another error for the Boston Red Sox of 1912. That is error number 6. And Jerry Denny is in scoring position for Providence with nobody out. And here's shortstop Arthur Irwin. Irwin, RBI single, scoring Jerry Denny back in the 5th. Bedian checks the runner, kicks and fires the 1-2. Fastball by Irwin. This one chopped foul on the right-hand side. Ball gets back to Bedian. Little black misshapen thing that it is. Bedian brings it home again. Now Irwin swings and straightens it out. Shallow fly ball to right. Hooper comes in, makes the catch. Jerry Denny not going to run on the arm of Harry Hooper. So 1 out, and here comes Jack Farrell. Also part of that crazy 5th. Bedian's 1-2 to Farrell. Farrell chopping ground ball. Great stop by Larry Gardner. Throws from his knees. Hard peg across the diamond to Jake Stahl to retire Jack Farrell. 2 down, and Jerry Denny remains stranded in scoring position at second. Stepping to the plate now, old hoss Radbourne, RBI single in the 5th that scored Jack Farrell. Bedian's wind and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball. And we go to the middle of the 7th. It is 8-4. Providence Grays. All right, we're back. Bottom of the 7th now. Jake Stahl will lead it off here for the Boston Red Sox. Duffy Lewis waits on deck. Jake Stahl. Did I say Chick Stahl? Jake Stahl. So Jake Stahl, 2-run homer and a double in this game. David Little in here. What a treat to see Dave Little. It's a rare treat. Good evening, Dave. So now we have 2 Reds fans in the chat, and if Aaron Reed is still in here, we actually have 3. 3 Cincinnati Reds fans. This could be the first time in a YouTube sports gaming community live broadcast where Reds fans outnumber Red Sox fans. I don't think there's any Red Sox fans in here, actually. All right, here we go. Ed Conley winds and fires the 1-1 pitch. Spitball, and this one hit into the gap and right. Jake Stahl's going to have two easily for this, so leadoff double for Stahl. Runner in scoring position. That is hit number 7 for the 1912 Red Sox. The big story for them, though, 6 errors. Duffy Lewis, 1 for 3, struck out back in the 5th. Conley checks the runner Stahl at second. Stahl in 1912 with 13 steals. Has no steals yet in this tournament. Ed Conley throws back, spins and fires. Jake Stahl back safely ahead of Farrell's tag. As Dave says, the treat is for him. Thank you, Dave. You're part of this family too, and so good to see you. Prodigal son that you are sometimes. How about it? All right, but it is great to see you. Check out Dave. Dave calls a great game of whatever you want. All kinds of good stuff. And I believe he's still doing his My Journey with Jesus. I believe he's still doing that. So do subscribe to Dave Little's channel. Lots of good stuff on there. Ed Conley deals to Duffy Lewis. Lewis swings, base hit, center field, and they're going to hold up the stop sign there and hold Jake Stahl at second. So Boston now mounting a threat here in the bottom of the 7th. Can Ed Conley hold on? Honey Wagner 0 for 2. Wagner's made a couple good plays at short today. He was plunked by Ed Conley back in the 5th in what one might call a fastball, but considering the ball wasn't wound that tightly, I can't imagine it hurt too much. But working from the stretch to the Boston shortstop, the 0-2, and Honey Wagner swings, and that is strikeout number 8 for Ed Conley. So 1 down for catcher Bill Kerrigan. He is 0 for 2 and a walk. So Ed Conley would love to get the double play ball right here. Jake Stahl at third, Duffy Lewis at first. Conley winds and fires the 2-0 to Bill Kerrigan. Fastball, chopper to third, and this is going to be close. And they do not get Kerrigan, and coming in to score is Jake Stahl. And Boston inching closer now. It is 8-5. A run in. Kerrigan will pick up the RBI on the infield single. Duffy Lewis is at second. And here's Harry Hooper. And the hand going up from Providence manager Ken Castro, looking for a mound visit to Ed Conley. And it says Conley is strong. So we'll see if manager cousin Ken Castro wants to go to his bullpen. He's got Cyclone Miller, Harry Arundel, Charlie Sweeney, and John, good Lord, John Katanak. All right, or Natch, Katanach. So we'll go ahead and hang on here for a second. So we are now in a what would be maybe a save situation. Providence at one time holding an 8-3 lead, now 8-5. Okay, stays in. All right. The fun thing is you can always bring in Radbourne to pitch. I don't know who you have out there in right field. I'm just curious who you have left as right fielders. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of a lot of movement you can do on this Providence team. That's your plan. I thought so. I knew Old Haas wasn't going to be hanging out in the right pasture. All right, so Conley stays, but now watching closely. All right, Conley with 2 on, 1 out, 1 in, 8-5 Providence lead. Conley deals to Harry Hooper, who's 1 for 2. Curveball, routine fly ball to center field. Paul Hines comes in on it and makes the catch. So 2 away here, and Ed Conley trying to get out of this one. Steve Yerkes is 0 for 3. He has grounded out and fly to left, struck out. He does have an RBI in this game, back in the second. Ed Conley to deal the 0-2 pitch. Spitball, Yerkes grounding ball to short. Arthur Irwin to Joe Start, and that will take care of Steve Yerkes. So Boston mounted a bit of a threat, but only managed 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 8th inning, the Providence Grays of 1884, 8, and the Boston Red Sox of 1912, 5. The line on these teams so far for the Grays, 8-8-1. For the Red Sox, 5-9-6. Yes, the dead ball team with more errors than the 19th century team. Boston has stranded 9 thus far, Providence 6. Ed Conley will lead it off here, and then back at the top of the order, and Paul Hines and Joe Start. Conley, 0-for-3 in the game. Hugh Bedian sets and delivers the 1-2. Conley, base hit, right field, so helping his own cause. And that will be the 9th base knock for the Providence Grays. So Ed Conley aboard, and that brings up Paul Hines. Paul Hines with that big home run back in the 5th. So he is 1-for-4. And Ken Castro calling for the hit and run. Bedian checks. Conley at first. Here's the wind and the pitch. Conley off to the races. This one fouled into the right field seats. So the count 1-1. See if manager cousin Ken Castro of the Providence Grays wants to go for another hit and run. Joe Murdy joins us here at an early Fenway Park. He says, got action. All right, welcome to the Action PC baseball family, Joe Murdy. Joe Murdy is a 19th century baseball fan, so should be loving this. Joe into some 19th century and dead ball. And the third part of our trifecta tonight will be a game between the King Kellys and the Hannes Wagners in a decades season that I'm going to actually play out as a season. So, anyhow, welcome in, Joe, and welcome to Action PC. If you have any questions, let us know. Try to do the best to answer. I have some tutorial videos up. Steve Tate is really the guru on it. Sacrifice, gotcha, cousin Ken Castro. All right. Bedian deals to Paul Hines. Here's the wind and the 1-1. Hines gets the bunt down. Kerrigan's only play will be to first. So sacrifice perfectly executed. Ed Conley now in scoring position, the possible 9th run for the Providence Grays. And Joe Start, who has 2 steals today, steps in on the left side of the box. Start is 1-for-4 in the game, doubled back in the 5th. If Aaron is around, I guess my question now might be, how does he use the bullpen? There's no, yeah, good question. So hopefully, Aaron, if you are here, if you'd be kind enough to maybe help out Joe, because Aaron's been able to play it and everything like that. I know I was helping Aaron sort of navigate it first, and he's doing it great. So, if you're not, and Joe, we got to get you an invite to our Discord, by the way. The guy that usually does our heavy lifting, Robbie Wartburg, is AWOL. But we'll get you an invite to the Discord, because that will help you and Aaron as far as maybe getting on Discord chat so that Aaron can kind of guide you around. So, good to see you in here, Joe. All right, so here we go. Back to game action here at Fenway. 8-5, Providence lead in the 8th. Providence came into this game down 2 to the 1912 Red Sox. Bedian. Oh, Kerrigan out to talk to Bedian for a minute. Now the 1-2 delivery to Joe Start. Start cuts on this one. Hard ground ball to first. Jake Stahl has it and will retire Start. And Conley was already on his way to third. So 2 down and the potential 9th run for Providence just 90 feet away for Cliff Carroll. The left fielder is 1-for-4. And had a triple in the first, was safe on a throwing error in the 8th. Bedian toes the rubber, and from the stretch in the 1-0, fastball, routine fly ball to shallow right. Harry Hooper reels it in, and that retires the side. So Providence threatens, but they do not capitalize. And we go to the bottom of inning number 8. The Providence Grays 8, the Boston Red Sox 5. Joe Murdy says, So one of my favorite things they have out there for DK Sports, their States collection. Never would have thought of that. Yeah, I have it. Done a few exhibitions with the State collection, Joe. It's really cool. You're right. Yeah, Joe. World's Worst Gamer brings up a good point. You don't have to warm up a pitcher in Action PC. You can actually turn that rule off. So, I don't know what software, what you're using to work with Action PC, but you don't. In fact, that might be off by default. World's Worst Gamer could he could correct me if I'm errant on that, but I believe that you actually have to enable warming up pitchers. So World's Worst Gamer coming through here in the clutch, hopefully. All right, Hugh Bedian. So according to this, Ed Conley's still looking strong, so we'll see. Bedian is 0 for 3. He has struck out, flied to catcher, and grounded to short. Oh, it's off by default. There you go, Joe. You don't have to warm up pitchers or relievers. You can just bring them right in. Thanks, World's Worst Gamer. Olaf Hendrickson into pinch hit. Fly ball to shallow right. And in to make the catch is Haas Radborn. So 1 up, 1 down. So Hugh Bedian's day is done. We've seen Olaf Hendrickson used strictly in a pinch hitter role for the Red Sox. And Tris Speaker now we're back at the top of the order for the Red Sox. I realized that Mogul doesn't either, but I thought I'd try that. Love the mound visits. Okay, so you want to turn it on. Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get Aaron's help. And if Aaron can't help you, I'll try to. Sometimes Aaron and I meet like on Mondays on Discord, and we'll get you that Discord invite. So you can join. I mean, you're part of the crew here, Joe, and get you guys together, and Aaron can explain how he gets around Action PC. Does it like a pro. All right, Tris Speaker is 1 for 2, 1 away here, bottom of the 8th. Here's the 3-1 delivery to the Gray Eagle. Fastball. This one chopped up the middle. Base hit for Tris Speaker. That is hit number 10 for the Boston Red Sox. And here comes Larry Gardner now. Gardner, he is 1 for 3 in this game. Singled back in the 5th. Struck out in the 6th his last time up. Speaker an aggressive lead off first. Ed Conley throws over. And Speaker back easily ahead of the Joe start tag at first. Gilligan sets the sign. Conley brings it home. The 1-2. And Gardner swings on this one. Fly ball to center field. But Paul Hines has it measured. Makes the catch. Throws it in for out number 2. So Ed Conley and a few jams here in the ball game here at Fenway Park and able to pitch his way out, scattering these Boston runs. World's Worst Gamer addressing Joe Murdy. So these guys talking a bit. Okay, so Joe Murdy also, as is Aaron Reed, sightless. So hopefully these two guys be able to hook up, help each other out, and just gotta love it. 2 excellent baseball fans here, and again, Joe Murdy, I believe, remember telling me he loves him some 19th century baseball. So you'll be seeing that. You do see that on this channel, at least. All right, Speaker leads off. 2 down. Conley to Stahl. Oh, the throw over. Speaker back. So Ed Conley trying to hold the Gray Eagle close. Jake Stahl, 3 hits today, by the way. So 3 for 4. Conley brings it home. The 0-2. Stahl, lazy fly ball to left, and that will retire the Red Sox. We go to the 9th, and coming on to pitch here will be Charlie Hall for the Boston Red Sox. So making his first appearance in this tournament, but in 1912, a 3.02 earned run average. He's 15 wins, 8 losses, 2 saves, 191 innings pitched. He walked 70 and struck out 83. The American League hit 256 against Charlie Hall in 1912, and his whip was 1.29 and 8. He has finished his warm-up pitches. Barney Gilligan, who's sporting a 2 for 4 in this game, including a homer. Or, no, I'm sorry, with 2 doubles. I'm sorry. Mea culpa. Steps in the box. Charlie Hall ready to work. Charlie Hall. Get a little picture of him there. There he is. The 3-1. And Barney Gilligan, good eye up there at the plate, draws the walk. So a runner aboard, nobody out, and here comes Jerry Denny now. Jerry Denny, 1 for 4. Triple, and an RBI, scoring Gilligan back in the 5th. Charlie Hall sets and throws over Barney Gilligan back ahead of Jake Stahl's tag. Charlie Hall comes home with it now. Here's the 1-0. Jerry Denny swings bounding ball to third, and Gardner is going to go to second to cut down the lead runner. So Jerry Denny aboard in the fielder's choice, 1 away here in the 9th, and brings up Arthur Irwin. Irwin has an RBI single. That was back in the 5th, scoring Jerry Denny. The lefty waits for the Charlie Hall delivery. Kerrigan with the sign. Hall winds and fires. And there goes the runner. Jerry Denny slides. The dust settles. And stolen base. So Providence, again, bringing that running game. And we saw one of the runs manufacture some good small ball here today. A nice combination, actually. A little bit of long ball as well. I think it was Paul Hines that absolutely crushed one out of here. Hall delivers now to Irwin. The 0-1 fastball. Irwin swinging a bit too early on this one. Fouls this one on the first base side. The ball gets back to the pitcher after it's wrested from a fan in the stands again. Not a lot of rowdyism going on here today at Fenway Park. The cranks, cranklets, and bugs rather behaving themselves. Hall sets and fires. Here's the 0-2. Irwin swings, routine ground ball to second, but Yerkes cannot handle it. And the woes continue for the Boston Red Sox when we're talking about errors. That is error number 7 today for the Boston Red Sox. So here we go. Jerry Denny at third, Arthur Irwin at first, 1 out. Charlie Hall looking double play here, obviously. Hall works from the stretch in the 1-2 delivery to Jack Farrell. Jack Farrell swings at this one outside of the zone, and that's the first strikeout for Charlie Hall. So 2 down here for Old Hoss Radbourn, batting in the 9th. Yep, 7 errors. How about it, World's Worst Gamer? And only 1 for the 19th century team, which is even more surprising. Old Hoss, a big favorite on this channel. Everybody loves Old Hoss Radbourn. RBI single back in the 5th. Denny at third. Irwin at first, 2 away. Charlie Hall from the stretch in the 0-2 fastball, and Radbourn smacks this one on the left-hand side, and this will make the stands on the third base side. This fan not giving back the ball. The usher trying to get the ball back from the fan, but then his glance, he sees a rather buxom lass showing just a hint of ankle. So the fan gets to keep the ball. The usher gets a good look at some finely shaped ankle, and a new ball is introduced in play. It's immediately stepped on by Charlie Hall, as is custom, thrown around the horn. And now it looks like something that does not resemble a baseball, but a glob. All right, Radbourn back in the box. Sorry for the little weirdness there, guys. But that was customary. When the ball would get to the pitcher, he would immediately spike it. That was the first thing that would happen. Hall deals. The 0-2. And the runner was going, but Radbourn strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Will Ed Conley go all the way and get a complete game win and keep Providence in this tournament? To do that, he needs to get by Duffy Lewis, Heine Wagner, and Bill Kerrigan. I see no movement at all from the Providence dugout, so we shall continue to continue. Oh, absolutely, we have some rare play. How about it? Yes, we do. Showing some ankle here. Ooh, baby. So platinum memberships that day got you the whole ankle, of course. How about it, cuz? All right, Conley ready to deal to Duffy Lewis. Duffy Lewis 2 for 4 in the contest today. Singled his last time up. Conley with the 0-1. Change up to Duffy Lewis. Fly ball to right. Back on it. Oldhoss Radbourn takes it between his bare hands for out number 1. And Conley is now tired. So we'll wait for Cousin Ken Castro to make the decision of bringing Radbourn into pitch, of course, and then who's going to be in right field, because we know that's what he's going to do. So Conley pitched a hell of a ball game as we wait for the manager of Providence to finish rolling up an inning that he's doing on the original franchise All-Star set with APA, Cards and Dice. So Conley's day is going to be done, I'm pretty sure. 8 1/3 pitched, 10 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. Pretty damned impressive. Waiting for Cousin Ken. He's thinking about that ankle, though, so. I can go ahead and make the Radbourn switch, but I don't know who he wants in right. So here we go. Radbourn is going to pitch. Conley's out of the game. And we need a right fielder. And wow. Okay. So looking at it's we're going to bring in Cyclone Miller. I don't know where Cousin Ken is. We're going to bring in Cyclone Miller only because John Katanak in 1884 played in one game and was right. He went 0 for 4, whereas Cyclone Miller hit 0-4-3. Both these guys are rated 1s in right field. Of course, you could bring in Charlie Sweeney and right. Cousin, I don't think Cousin's here. All right, I'm going to bring in Charlie Sweeney into right field because he's at least a little bit better rated. Too bad Paul Radford got pulled. This would have been a perfect switch, but there we are. Charlie Sweeney will play right field. So Oldhoss Radbourn, 59 wins, 12 losses in 1884, a 1.38 earned run average, and hold on to your socks. 678 2/3 innings pitched. How about it? The league hit the American Association hitting just 205 against Radbourn in 1884 with a whip of 9-22. He struck out 441 batters and walked 98. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, can Radbourn get it done? Here we go. Heine Wagner in the box now. The wind in the pitch. The 0-1. Oh, this one scorched to left. Heine Wagner digging for 2, and he is going to be in there as Cliff Carroll's throw gets into second. So 1 away, and Bill Kerrigan comes to the plate. Heine Wagner in scoring position with 1 away. RBI single on the infield by Bill Kerrigan back in the 7th that scored Jake Stahl and brought Boston to its current 5 tally. Gilligan sets the target. Radbourn with the 1-0 fastball. Kerrigan swings, bounces this one to Jerry Denny at third, who fires across the diamond to Joe Start. And that is out number 2. And 59 wins lost at any time. So Joe says he had no idea. 19th century, who knew? 59 wins. Yeah, right? Could you imagine? Whew. That's a third of today's season. Old Haas. All right, it is down to Harry Hooper to keep it going. Hall of Fame right fielder for the Boston Red Sox. Hooper, 1 for 3 and a walk, had a double way back in the second inning. Radbourn wheels and deals the 0-1 to Harry Hooper. Fastball, Hooper fouls this one on the first base side. So Hooper stays alive. Good contact in that ball. Radbourn brings it home again, the 0-2. And Harry Hooper, a swing and a miss for strike 3. And the Providence Grays stay alive and live to fight another day. They take this one from the 1912 Boston Red Sox with a final score of 8-5. What a fun ball game this one was. We're going to look at our recap here. So Ed Conley, who was on the short leash, went 8 1/3 and gets the win. He goes to 1-0. Hugh Bedien falls to 0-2 in the tournament. For Boston, a losing cause, the Gray Eagle Trispeaker goes 2 for 3 with a steal and 2 walks. Jake Stahl 3 for 5 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. For the Providence Grays, Barney Gilligan 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in. Paul Hines 1 for 4 and a home run. Joe Start 1 for 5 with a double, 2 stolen bases. We'll just quickly, I want to look at this recap here because I wanted to, for stolen bases. So Joe Start had 2, Gilligan, Irwin, Denny, and then Trispeaker had a steal for Boston. So I was a bit off. So it was 5 steals for Providence in this game. And let's see who gets the MVP. Barney Gilligan. Providence left 9, Boston 11. Errors were crazy for the Boston Red Sox, 7. So the errors, let's go back up here for a minute here. Actually, no, Heine Wagner, and we've got to make sure you guys know it's not Hannes Wagner. Heine Wagner made one so yeah, Wagner, all the errors, right? You had, so Gilligan, let me see, where are we? Yeah, Wagner 4 errors, you're right. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, Heine Wagner with 4 errors. Steve Yerkes with 3. I was thinking of the first game because Martin Dihigo made a lot of errors. So, yeah, good catch there, Mick. All right, seeing viewership's going down and now bouncing sort of up. And Dave Little says, good night. Thanks for the game, everyone. Absolutely. All right, so looking at our playoff bracket now, the next game will be what has been an absolute war. So not our next game tonight, but the next time we play the KCCL, we will once again see the 1885 Chicago White Stockings, the 1894 Baltimore Orioles. So the Chicago Cubs of 1907 waiting in round 3. They will face off against the 1908 Cleveland Naps. They defeated the 1909 Pittsburgh Pirates 3-1. The 07 Cubs swept the 1919 Reds 3-0. So now we're just waiting on 3 19th century teams and 1 dead ball team to get it done so we can move to the best of 7 round 3. I'm predicting that it's going to be Cubs Red Sox at the end. All right, so Dave Little taking off. So I can always change the tint on this, guys. We can stop this right now at a double header. There's only 3 people watching, probably to go into a third game, probably a little bit silly. So I tried, guys, but doubleheader I think is good. We went 3 hours. So there we go. So we do this Shanks and KCCL, and then we're going to close it off in a minute or so. I'm still in the mood for more baseball, so I might do something. Might do MLB The Show, or I might not. Anyhow. Thanks, guys, for coming in. A lot of fun tonight. It was good to actually do a legit doubleheader. And I had a great crowd in here tonight. Always gratified by that. At one time, we I think we hit 11 people, and considering what we do on this channel, that's pretty damn fine. Thank you. Up, power went out. No worries, cousin. So Providence lives to fight another day. All right, my thanks to the heart and soul of this channel, Cousin Ken Castro, or good friend, World's Worst Gamer, always calling me out on stuff and correcting me, and I do appreciate that. Dave Little, always great to see Dave. Mick F, so happy Mick is part of our community. Joe Murdy, welcome to Action PC. We'll try to get you and Aaron hooked up. Post haste so you can get even more enjoyment out of Action PC Baseball. Welcome to the family on that one, too. Todd B. graced us with his presence, as did Big Clue. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you big time. Going back, this is a bit of a longer stream, 3 hours, so I may not catch everybody. Aaron Reed was in here earlier. MV, Clinton Parks. And I know that Clee Baseball Fan 879 was here for a little bit too, as he was channeling his Swede. I think that was way back when we were doing Shanks in the first game. Yep, there he was. And Steve Tate hung out for a little bit. And Rob Tomlinson was in the ballpark. That's as far back as I can go in the chat. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time. Aaron, so get with Joe Murdy. You say you're still here. I've been saying his name. If you can help Joe Murdy out a bit, letting him know what you're using as far as getting around Action PC. And if you guys want to, maybe meet up on a Monday or something, we'll try to get an invite. I think Robbie Wartburg has kind of deserted us, so I've got to find that damn Discord invite and get that into the chat and get it to Joe Murdy. All right, guys, thank you very much, and see you around the batting cage. If there's any baseball, it will be tomorrow afternoon rather than tomorrow evening. Doing music tomorrow night, first time in 2 weeks, and then we'll be back for a whole crap ton of baseball next week. Okay, so Joe, Aaron Reed says he'll gladly help you whenever possible, so hopefully you guys can find each other. You're most welcome, Mick. All right, guys, see you around the batting cage. Thank you and good night.